make it loud. Welcome back. Woodbine Mohawk Park is the scene this morning for day 2 here on the second weekend of the Rookie Showcase on Primetime Racing. Different weather conditions than we've seen for the first couple of days for the babies. Today we've got a little bit of light rain right now, but it looks like it might be pushing through. Temperature very comfortable, 23 degrees. Wind has died down, and we are on a fast oval here this morning, so going to be pretty nice weather conditions to play under today as the Colts take center stage. Rookie Colts, both trotters and pacers, welcoming you to our trackside location. Greg Blanchard, Jeff Hunt back co-hosting with me today. Mark McKelvey will be calling the action remotely today. He's up the road in Kingston, actually hosting the OHL draft, I believe. So that's going to be something interesting. So he's going to be calling the races today from about 4 hours away from here up the highway. So if anyone can do it, he can. Jeff, great to have you back here, and I'm sure you had a look at things yesterday. We're going to take a look back now and recap what transpired yesterday and just get your assessment of that. We had 12 races, so it was a busy session yesterday. The leading stallion winners were Cattle Wash. He had 3 winners. Muscle Mass had a pair. Fastest pacer on the day was I'm Sweet on Lou, and it came in the finale, 57-2 for this daughter of Sweet Lou. And Tic Tac Fashion was the fastest trot winner, 2:01.4. One of 4 winners on the day for Trevor Henry. So I guess if you're going to give a first star, it would be Trevor.
Yeah, absolutely. It looked like a great day yesterday, Greg. Unfortunately, a little more overcast for us today, but we shouldn't sweat so much. And again, that first week a little bit light. We had a few less qualifiers. We got a few more coming in yesterday and today. Everybody seems a little bit more ready to go. And again, Trevor stole the show on the driving side. I know there was a lot of talk of McEnany's barn doing really well. Lots of guys coming out. We saw Dr. Ian Moore for the first time yesterday. And again, looking for an even better day today. We got the Colts, the boys on hand tonight, and that's always exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, we saw some new faces, as you mentioned. Some barns that we didn't see last weekend for the first session did unveil some of their new crop yesterday. We'll see more of that here. New faces in terms of horses as well, plenty of them. And then quite a few returning that we're going to see today, and it'll be interesting to see the ones that can maybe step up their performance from a week ago and continue their progression. We've got a lot to look forward to, of course, here this morning, but overall this weekend. Pepsi North America Cup program tomorrow night. That's the big one. What a program. 13 races in total. Of course, we're going to have coverage for you here on Primetime Racing. A big weekend, too, in Quebec as another regional driving championship will take place, trying to establish a couple of more finalists for the NDC later this summer.
Yeah, absolutely. The Quebec Eastern Ontario region will go this weekend, Sunday at 3 Rivers. And you know what? It's a fun process to be a part of. It's my first time going through it, but it's great that all the drivers love to be a part of it. It's a little bit of an honor, a little bit of a privilege. And you know what? It sort of gives everybody across the nation an opportunity to feel like they could be the best. And again, we're looking for the representative at the World Driving Championship, which James McDonald did a great job and won in New Zealand last fall. And again, it's a great privilege, a great trip to be a part of, and I'm really happy that all of the comments and experiences have been great this year. A new draft format where you get to draft your horses after they have their post position, which came about from lots of comments from drivers, and I think it really gives them the sort of feeling that they're a little bit more in control of their destiny. Certainly, being able to pick your horses doesn't mean that you're going to win automatically, but things have been going well, yeah.
We hosted the first of the regionals at London back in May, and I can tell you it was a fantastic night of racing. And I agree. The new format, I think, added a whole other element to the event. Looking forward to that this weekend. Charlottetown for the final regional, correct?
Summerside.
Yep, my
Summerside
apologies.
On the 23rd, yep.
And then Clinton for the national.
For the national.
And that's at the end of July.
Mm-hmm. And those are exciting. Guys out there for points in each race, they tend to drive a little bit tougher. We're out a lot more. There are fewer holes. Certainly not the type of driving we're going to see here today.
There's the Mackenzies in town today. They'll be getting a look at some of their new purchases in action for the first time. And here we go. We've got a bunch of Pacers getting set to hit the track here for qualifier number 1. 7 in total. And Greg McNair there, Team McNair, coming out with this starter in this first contest. And boy, he was busy yesterday. And just on the way down here, colleague Sugar Doyle and I driving down this morning, we're talking about, you know, some of the trainers that have been busy, and Greg McNair's name came up. Said, geez, what a powerhouse stable it looks like he has again this year.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been quite busy over the last couple of years, and you know, he's always got a set of hands behind him that he's pretty confident to go to in Dougie all the time. And you know, it's always fun for me to watch the drivers in these baby races here. You know, do a great job with the young ones. You know, really know to keep them out of trouble, keep them finishing up strong, like we said. And again, you know, not to take away from Trevor, but Dougie had a good morning yesterday as well.
Oh, he sure did. 3 winners yesterday. In fact, the last 3 on the morning qualifying program. So we'll see if he can continue that into this morning. We had a look at Wicked Shot, the 1. Go-Go Gadget, number 3 is a betting line. Just saw It's Kevin, a cattle wash colt here with Tyler Borth driving, London Classic Sale graduate. And there's a 5, TH Theo. This one is a full brother to TH Check Me Out, one of the high-level pacing fillies in Ontario. She's just coming off a career best 50-4 win last time out. This guy was $150,000 Harrisburg yearling purchase. Southwind Espinos, the Bulldog Hanover colt number 6, and Caveman Pioneer, bargain basement purchase at the London Classic Sale at $8,000. So right off the bat here, Jeff, we're kind of seeing both ends of the spectrum. Some lower priced yearlings or more value priced horses, I guess we would say, and you know, those blue chip prospects, those 6-figure horses. But here today, they're all starting on a level playing field.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I see a lot of cattle washes in here, as you said, a couple bargain bids. TH Theo came at a pretty high price tag. 210,000 Canadian or 150 American out of the Harrisburg sale. And again, you know, it doesn't always mean that they'll be great here. We've only got 1 returning starter and the 1 Wicked Shot. You know, qualified pretty well last week, finished 4th, home in 29-1 for a mile and 2-1. And you know, we'll be seeing if the experience for Wicked Shot gives them a hand up here, or if some of these first-time starters can steal the show.
Look at Tyler Borth there. We just saw Mark McDonald, and it's funny, Mark earlier telling us about their golf game yesterday. He and Tyler were out together with Bob McClure, and telling us about Tyler's short game out of the sand trap. He said he'd never seen it before. He uses a putter. Didn't believe it was going to work. But
Tyler Moore?
No, Tyler Borth.
Oh, Tyler
and
Borth.
He rolled it to within a foot.
Oh,
so Mark said, you know what, I'm not going to question that again.
Yeah.
I just thought of that as I saw both of them, one after the other here on screen. Mark will be on board the Tony Beaton trained Southwind Spino. This one, good pedigree potential, a Bulldog Hanover colt, sibling to Southwind Spencer. So anyone watching in from the Pennsylvania circuit probably knows what that one has done. Been a pretty good competitor on the Pennsylvania Sire Stakes program. There's this guy, a $40,000 Lexington yearling purchase. A good look there at number 3, the betting line Go-Go Gadget, and there is Caveman Pioneer. So again, the bargain basement yearling in the field, but makes a nice pre-race appearance there. Yeah,
he looks great there, doesn't he? He's nice sized colt, ears up, ready to go, and he gets some of the best hands behind him in James McDonald. You know, James remarking yesterday, you know, he likes to qualify them nice and easy. And you know what? If we go back to last Saturday, I believe he won 5 races and not one of them on the front. So, you know, he really knows how to get a horse a good trip, how to have him finishing up strong and treat him well.
And as they say, they're not writing any checks here this morning. So it's about the overall experience, more so than winning, and certainly more so than time. We did this last week. Why don't, right off the bat, let's get some time predictions. We were in the ballpark yesterday, off just a little bit. I had the best time yesterday at My guess was 56 and 4, and I think 57 and 2 was the fastest. So what do you think today? We'll jot these down and see how we do.
Yeah, and I think we did a pretty good job last week. It just seemed there was a difference. There were a couple miles still 2 minutes or above, and then we did have the 1 mile and 56. We've got an overcast morning, but the boys today and a couple second-time returners. It really always depends on where these horses have been training, kind of the miles they've already gone. I'm still thinking this first week. I got to think the best mile tonight's it's going to be that 56 and change. That'd be my guess on the pace. The trot,
you have to be precise though.
Okay, 56 and 3 today on the pace for the boys. And for the trot and colts, probably somewhere, let's say someone gets eager and again, overcast, track's probably got a little dampness in it looks like. How about 58 and 3?
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna go 56 flat, and on the trot side, I'm gonna go 59 and 4. I think they just break 2 minutes on the trot side. Okay, Mark McKelvey, we're trying this today. He's with us from Kingston. Mark, are you on the line?
I am, guys. Good morning. We're set to go. As I like your predictions there. I think you guys are right in the ballpark of what we're going to see here today as the horses are lining up for the first of 11 on this Friday morning from Woodbine Mohawk Park. One is Wicked Shot. We have a McWicked colt here for Gino Toscani, who trains and drives. Came out of Lexington Select Sale for $8,000 US. 2 is Mark the Mechanic, a cattle wash colt. Gerard Demers trains. J.R. Plant will do the driving, a $20,000 London Classic grad. Next up will be the 3, Go Gadget. This is a betting line colt for Kyle Bossens. Jonathan Drury is at the controls. Number 4, It's Kevin, a cattle wash colt. Blake McIntosh trains. Tyler Borthel steer. $17,000 London Classic buy. Number 5 is TH Theo. This is a cattle wash colt for trainer Greg McNair. Driver Doug McNair in the bike. And this one came out of Harrisburg. A 6-figure purchase, $150,000 US. 6 is Southwind Spino, a Bulldog Hanover colt. Tony Beaton trains. Mark McDonald will do the driving. Came out of Lexington sale for $40,000. And number 7 is Caveman Pioneer, a Sunshine Beach colt. Dominic Ledoux trains. James McDonald drives, an $8,000 London Classic buy. Here we go, the first of 11 on this Friday. And they're off and pacing. Good beginning here away from the inside for Wicked Shot. It's Kevin is also trying to get ahead there, and between horses was Go Gadget. That one will take down to the rail. Getting away in fourth is TH Theo. Then we're going to go back to Southwind Spino, and the last one in line will be Caveman Pioneer. They're heading into the first turn. The McWicked colt Wicked Shot does show the way. A 2-length advantage up front here on Go Gadget. Meanwhile, It's Kevin got off the wings nicely and ends up in the 3-hole. 2 lengths better than TH Theo, going back to Southwind Spino and Caveman Pioneer. So they end up lining up in post position order. 31 and 2 was the opening quarter. We're into the backstretch, and Wicked Shot points them up towards the midway point. Wicked Shot, the only horse in the race that is qualifying for the second time and is doing the road work. Last week ended up sitting second in the early going, got shuffled back to fourth. So Wicked Shot on the engine. Go Gadget in second. It's Kevin is third, and then TH Theo in fourth. Back to Southwind Spino and Caveman Pioneer. They're by the half in 101 and 2. 30 seconds even in the second quarter. Wicked Shot taking us on to the far bend. Go Gadget trying to stay with the leader. It's 2.5 lengths going back to It's Kevin, who will close that gap immediately now. He's just 3 lengths off the lead. Also about to get a little bit closer is TH Theo. Back to Southwind Spino and Caveman Pioneer. So there's the move out from second from Go Gadget. The betting line colt is going to swoop around Wicked Shot. So Go Gadget will get us down to 3/4 in 130 and 2. And Go Gadget was certainly ready to go, but puts in some bad steps here as Jonathan Drury trying to keep this one together. So Go Gadget appears maybe to have got past that bobble, leads it by about 8 lengths. Back in second, It's Kevin. Dropping back is Wicked Shot. Looking to come on through is Southwind Spino and TH Theo. At the back was Caveman Pioneer. Go Gadget was ready to go, as I mentioned, at the head of the lane. Couple anxious moments, but was driving strong to the wire. Takes our first qualifier. It's Kevin was second. Southwind Spino finishes third. The mile time, 1:58 and 2 for the betting line colt. Go Gadget.
Well, that's an eye-catching effort for a couple of different reasons. First of all, turning into the stretch, and this guy was turning on the afterburners, and then maybe lived up to his name a little bit, right? The gadget legs were kind of going in different directions, but boy, when he got back down pacing, look at him there. He was pacing hard through the wire. This is impressive. This is the kind that turns your head a little bit here. Go Gadget, a son of Betting Line from the Kyle Boston's barn. JD, Jonathan Drury, doing the driving here, and that's a really nice kick on the end of the mile, 28 seconds with that miscue, and back half 57 seconds flat. So nice start for this guy. The others were far back, probably weren't looking to quite go that time. He was in a league of his own this morning. Yeah,
Go Gadget afterburners, like you said, maybe just a speed wobble at the top of the stretch, but that's a wicked turn of foot. I'd be pretty excited if that was my horse. And like you said, left everybody else in the dust, not to take anything away from them, but they certainly didn't close up last quarter in 28 seconds. Again, on an overcast morning, probably the track's a little bit slower than fast. That's super impressive. A super way to start the morning.
It's impressive when you see them accelerate that quickly. It was just in an instant. This horse picked up a speed, put his head down, and away he went. And he looked like he did it relatively easy as well. So, I think I'm not sure whether he spooked at something or whether when he was really switching gears, just got off kilter a little bit. But again, once he came down pacing, then it was just smooth sailing the rest of the way. A nice effort from that one. It's Kevin, who was the runner-up, Southwind Speedo, landing the show spot in this 1:58.2 mile. So that is going to kick us off here this morning. There is Southwind Speedo, your third place finisher, and Mark McDonald coming off the track. Connections, I'm sure, happy with that initial effort. And these horses that are second, third, fourth, and finishing well back like that, likely ones we're going to see back next week to try and lower that time. This guy looks like he's got a bright future. His name's Go Gadget to kick us off here on this Friday morning. We'll be back with more in a moment.
A showcase of the finest 3-year-old trotters in the nation, the Hambletonian Stakes was first contested at the Syracuse Fairgrounds in 1926.
Away from the rest of the field, it is Guy McKinney to win the first Hambletonian.
Named after Risdick's Hambletonian, the father of the American trotter. In 1981, set against the backdrop of New York City, the Meadowlands Racetrack at East Rutherford, New Jersey became the latest and longest-running host venue, the urban stage for the most memorable moments.
And he's pouring it on! Mac Lobel has won! Here's the finish! Too close to call!
Operation Hambletonian complete! It's Muscle Hill, 150-1, equaling the world record!
10 horses, $1 million, and a dream to be the best.
Welcome back. Go Gadget. We're still talking about that around here. Kind of got us buzzing right off the bat here this morning as we welcome you to the Rookie Showcase. A moment ago, we saw all our valued sponsors again supporting the coverage this year. And a big thank you to all of them for taking part once again. Trotters here, qualifier number 2, full field of 8 set to go postward. And we'll get a look at them out on the track. There's Mahalo. This one is a chimpanzee gelding. Rick Ziron training. Trevor Henry doing the driving. That was a formidable combination here yesterday.
Yep, and Rick Ziron knows his way around trotters. That guy looked nice and light on his feet, trotting well. And again, all first-time starters. It's tough to know what to expect out of these guys, but we'll certainly find out. He looked good, though.
Leno's the man, number 1 in the field, London Classic Sale graduate, $30,000. Blake McIntosh trains. Looked like Jody Jameson picked up the drive. Yeah, Jody Jameson's going to take over the drive on that one. Getting a look there at Sunday Royale, another London Classic graduate, $62,000. The mare, Sunday on Sunday, has been a really good producer. This guy's a sibling to the likes of Sweet Soul David, an almost $500,000 winner. Nice pedigree potential there. And there's one from the Rankin barn, our Northern Star, who also shows good pedigree potential.
Yeah, bred by Tom and Elizabeth, owned by them, and conditioned by Greg McNair. Again, another good combination we've seen. Dougie will take the lines here, and again, first-time starter. We'll look to see. There's a couple good-looking trotters in here. Everybody seems to be doing well. The 7 horse here, maybe a little bit shy, but.
There's 7 Steadfastly. Luke Blay training for Determination, a homebred, and Warrawee Roo is the sire of this one, who was an excellent horse for them. So I'm not sure. I haven't seen a Warrawee Roo on the racetrack yet. I think this is the first look for me at one. We do have one of our 6-figure prospects here, one of many that are going postward today in this field, and that's the 8 Monamore Station. There's a complete look at today's list of 6-figure yearlings purchased at the various major sales this past year. So, some pedigree, ones with tremendous pedigrees on display here this morning. And Monamore Station, the number 8 in the field. This is a Walner Gelding. And first full from Mon Cheval. She was a good mare, $400,000 winner. And this one is a grandson of the great mare Shake It Cherry. So this one will be sent out by Luke Blay. Bob McClure driving for Determination. He was collared, I should say, for $120,000 last fall in Lexington. Full field of 8. Looks like they are all out there on track. In fact, we may have a scratch here. We may have one scratch, but at this point, let's send it up to Mark McKelvey for the call.
All right, Greg. Yes, it looks like number 2, Emerald Inclusion, is out. Don't see that one out on the racetrack. So as they line up, we've got a field of 7 on the trot. Number 1, Leno's the man. It is going to be Jody Jameson for trainer Blake McIntosh, a Green Manalishi colt, $30,000 London Classic grad. 2 is out. 3 is Mahalo, a Chimpanzee gelding for trainer Rick Zeron. Trevor Henry does the driving. 4 is Sunday Royale, a King of the North gelding. Dominic Ladeau trains. James McDonald drives. $62,000 London Classic purchase. Next up, 5 is going to be Mr. Boyle BG, a muscle mass colt. Tyler Borth takes the lines for trainer Ben Bayarjan. 6, our Northern Star, a King of the North colt. Doug McNair for Greg McNair, homebred for Tom and Elizabeth Rankin. 7 is Steadfastly, a Warrawee Roo colt, homebred for Determination. It will be Tyler Jones driving for Luke Blay. And we'll stay with the Blay and Determination connection for number 8, Monamore Station. Gelded son of Walner, Bob McClure, is in the bike. And this one was purchased at the Lexington Select sale for $120,000 US. So take out the 2, a field of 7. First look at the trotters here today on this Friday. As the rookie showcase continues, gate picks up speed, and here they come. And they're off and trotting. Mahalo is going to shoot forward. Some early speed as well for Mr. Boyle BG. And on the outside, our Northern Star. And our Northern Star pointed towards the front. Leno's the man is going to get away in 4th, going back to Sunday Royale. Out in the center of the track is Monamore Station, who will start to either go down to the rail, maybe try to get up a spot. We'll see. McClure has that one out in about the 3 path. And the stablemate Steadfastly was a little green at the start, was off the gate, but we'll try to straighten things out as we come to that opening panel. Our Northern Star, son of King of the North, is at the opening station in 30 and 4. So our Northern Star leads him into the backstretch. And off stride did go Mon Amour Station towards the back, so that one did make a miscue as they were exiting the first turn. Our Northern Star leading it, loose lead of 2. Second is Mahalo, then in third is Mr. Boyle BG. Fourth in line is going to be Leno's the Man, followed by Sunday Royale. Looking to close the gap then, racing in sixth is going to be Steadfastly, and that one stablemate, Mon Amour Station, did make a miscue. Our Northern Star leads us up to the half off a 30-4 opener, midway point in 1:02. That was 31-1 in the second quarter. All of these rookies qualifying for the first time, and it's our Northern Star into the far bend. Mahalo is second. The gap is about 4.5 lengths then back to Mr. Boyle BG. Then racing in fourth is Leno's the Man. Sunday Royale just stays in the line. A couple more lengths back to Steadfastly. Last is Mon Amour Station. Our Northern Star is going to bring us to 3 quarters. And this son of King of the North is by the third marker in 1:31.4. Quickest split to this point into the lane. We'll see if Mahalo can challenge this one. Our Northern Star has kept a little separation throughout. Still looking good on the lead. Mahalo in second. Mr. Boyle BG is trying to hold on to third. Coming off the back of Leno's the Man and advancing is Sunday Royale. But let's go back to the front here right now. Our Northern Star, a late push on the outside. Mahalo up to the wheel. That's how they're going to finish. Our Northern Star by 3 parts of a length. Mahalo was second. Finishing in third was our Mr. Boyle BG. And then fourth across the wire as they put in that mile of 2:01.1 was Sunday Royale. But it was our Northern Star, the King of the North Colt, winning it for Team McNair.
Another winner for the Greg McNair stable, our Northern Star all the way on the front end, and another King of the North winner, looking good too, nice and strong through the wire, had good final quarter speed and needed it to hold off a determined challenger in Mahalo. The gelded son of Jim Pansy chases the winner all the way through the wire, so they had a few lengths of separation on third place finisher Mr. Boyle BG, and rounding out the top 4, Sunday Royale. So again, Team McNair, we've talked about it a lot now over the first 3 days of baby races. Looks like they've got a good group this year.
Yep, as you mentioned, they're always ready to go. They got a big operation there, and again, a nice little race home for those 2 colts there. The 6, our Northern Star, doing a very good job to hold off the Xeron charge there, Mahalo, and again, 29-1 home, if I'm not wrong, 29-2. Again, good last quarter. You like to see them hold each other off, and again, great body language coming back around.
Yeah, for sure, and I would say from what we've seen so far from the King of the North horses that have been out to qualify, they've all looked good. They have a professional demeanor. I think they handle well. They're good gated, and they have obviously lots of go to them.
Yeah, and they look beautiful, don't they? They trot well. Again, ears up a lot of times, and they don't seem too tough to handle. We were talking about the blue chip prospect in their Mon Amour Station. Looked like some handling issues early, sort of fighting Bobby a little bit. So again, can't speak highly enough about the King of the North so far.
Yeah, this is a learning process. They're all at different stages of development, and they'll be back to the drawing board with that one. But a good start on the racetrack so far for our Northern Star. Trevor Henry qualifies another a good one here in Mahalo, and Trevor's had a major presence here over the last couple of days as well. So one pacing race, one trotting race in the books. We will be back with more of the Rookie Showcase from Mohawk in a moment.
Join us this August on Prince Edward Island for the Gold Cup and Saucer, presented by Atlantic Lottery. Visit redshores.ca for more details.
The annual Lexington Selected Yearling Sale is the centerpiece of the Lexington experience. Located at the beautiful Face Exhibit and Sales Complex, our annual sale continues to produce multiple world champions and divisional winners year after year, including multiple recent Hambletonian Oaks, and Breeders' Crown winners. The sale coincides with Grand Circuit Racing at the Red Mile, all on the world stage. Make your plans to join us this fall and create your own Lexington experience. Monday, October 5th through Friday, October 9th.
Yes, we are at Woodbine Mohawk Park, and it is the second day here of this week's coverage of the Rookie Showcase. Again, thanking all of our sponsors that we see listed there. Harness Racing Update, of course, Arsenault Horse Transport, the London Classic Yearling Sale, Sealster Farms, along with Winback Farm, Hanover Shoe Farms, Twinbrook Farms, Terra Hill Stud, Preferred Equine Online, and the Hambletonian Society. And Woodbine Mohawk Park this weekend, of course, the scene of the Pepsi North America Cup. That will be tomorrow night. Quick thought on the big race, Jeff, while we have a moment. Have you honed in on a pick? How do you think it's going to unfold?
Yeah, it's tough. As we mentioned, the trip didn't work out the best for Bojangles there. I think as a fan of Canadian and Ontario racing, I'd love to go with Bojangles. But just as a fan of racing, I'm just hoping for a good race. James picking odds on Mr. Bomba is a really big clue to me. And again, that horse sort of drifting out so far in the stretch is still super impressive that he can get around. I mentioned it before, but James McDonald, there's almost nobody better at putting a trip together. And in those big races, that's really what it comes down to. I'm rooting for Bojangles, but I think my money's on odds on Mr. Mamba.
Well, a lot of people would, I guess look at both ways and agree with you in what you're saying. There's, I think, a case to be made that both Bojangles and odds on Mr. Mamba could be that much better tomorrow night. The mile went in 48 and change in the elimination. I think it's going to take a 47 mile at least to win that tomorrow night, and so they'll all be trying to find another second for sure. And it's going to be a driver's race, trying to figure out what kind of a trip scenario will work. I think for James it's going to be pretty straightforward. I think he's just going to get away in a position where he can come second or third over. We'd probably like to be second over, obviously, if he can. And if he's within range turning for home, no matter what the fractions, no matter what horse is on the lead, it's going to be hard to hold him off with the kick he has.
Yeah, and you know what? That's not to take anything away from Brandon Boulevard, who's shown excellent in his two starts. He'll be right there regardless of how the trip works out. Sweet Love and Lou, also a very super impressive effort. He'll be right there, and again, it's really going to come down to the way that the race and the trip works out.
Getting a look at the youngsters on track here. We've got a group of 7 pacers this time around, and there is Stampede. And this one is a son of Cattle Wash out of Midnight Jet. Now, this is a homebred, and there's been some really good production here from this mare. She's the dam of Night Watchman, a career winner of $500,000. Watch Her Fly, who's made over $100,000. And some other ones that have been right around that $100,000 range. So this mare does nothing but produce. Mated with Cattle Wash this time around for Craig Bars, the trainer, and Nurko Sokolokovic, who is the owner of this one, a long-time partnership there. And they've had many good ones. So we'll see if Stampede can follow in the footsteps of those other famous siblings. Speaking of famous siblings, I think we've got a graphic here to show as well about number 6, Captain Cavalier, and his North America Cup pedigree connections. It's pretty incredible when you think about it. Captain Cavalier, $240,000 Lexington yearling purchase. His sire, Captain Treacherous, won the 2013 NA Cup. Nijinsky, this one's sibling, won in 2024, and the grandsire, Better's Delight, won the race in 2001. So will Captain Cavalier be a future Pepsi NA Cup winner? Why not?
It's in the bloodlines, you'd see that. That's super impressive there.
So we're going to get our first look at him here this morning. And right now, again, we're going to send it way down the highway to Mark McKelvey with the call of qualifier 3.
Thanks so much, Greg and Jeff. Back on the pace. Number 1, C-Script, a sports writer colt. Greg McNair trains. Doug McNair will drive. On to the 2, Skip the Dishes, Stay Hungry colt. Blake McIntosh, the trainer. Tyler Borth will take over the driving duties here. Number 3, 911 Hanover is an Always Be Mickey colt. Jeff Taylor trains. Jody Jameson is between the wheels. Came out of the Harrisburg sale for $10,000 US. Number 4, Shalom Hanover is a Poppy Rob Hanover colt. Dr. Ian Moore is the trainer. He'll also do the driving here today. And this youngster was a $50,000 US purchase out of Harrisburg. Next up, 5 is Stampede, Cattle Wash colt. Trevor Henry for trainer Craig Bars. On to the 6, Captain Cavalier, Captain Treacherous colt. Tony Beaton trains. Driver's going to be James McDonald. Captain Cavalier, a $240,000 US purchase out of the Lexington Selected Yearling Sale. And then finishing things up will be the 7, Trash in Your Dreams, a Captain Crunch colt. Bob McClure will drive for trainer Gaetan Ibert. And this Captain Crunch colt came out of Harrisburg for $3,000 US. There you have it, a field of 7 2-year-old pacing colts and geldings set to go for our 3rd qualifier today. Starting gate swings into the stretch. They'll pick up speed, and here they come. And they're off and pacing. Looking towards the inside, and it looks like Skip the Dishes, 911 Hanover. Those two are going to go stride for stride. At the rail was C-Script, and starting to come across is going to be Shalom Hanover. That one might just have to wrestle back into the 4-hole or maybe look to drive on. We'll see how that shakes out. Meanwhile, in 5th is Stampede, going back to Captain Cavalier, and the last one is Trash in Your Dreams. Heading to the opening quarter, 911 Hanover got in front of Skip the Dishes, and Doc Moore wasn't looking for a seat anywhere but on the front here with Shalom Hanover, who keeps on driving. 30-3 was the opening panel. Shalom Hanover to the front, strides us into the back stretch, and 911 Hanover will look to keep pace. Back in 3rd is Skip the Dishes. C-Script is 4th. 5th in line is Stampede, followed by Captain Cavalier, and then going back to Trash in Your Dreams. So there's a little bit of a gap between each rival as we race through this second quarter. Shalom Hanover is just rolling right along off that 30-3 opening panel, parked around the first turn, took control, and takes us by the half in 59-4. Shalom Hanover the leader. 911 Hanover starts to edge in a little bit closer. We'll try to track around the far turn. Skip the Dishes is in 3rd. C-Script is 4th. There is Stampede in 5th. Captain Cavalier continuing to track that rival, and then it's 4 lengths back to Trash in Your Dreams. Shalom Hanover by a length and a half. Jameson has 911 Hanover right on the leaders back in 2nd. Skip the Dishes is 3.5 lengths off the front. First to move was Stampede off the rail for Henry, now into 4th. 3/4 time, 129-2. At the head of the lane, it's the Poppy Rob Hanover colt Shalom Hanover who leads it. 911 Hanover is staying in behind on the helmet. On the outside is Stampede continuing to plug away. Skip the Dishes to the rail. C-Script trying to come between rivals. Captain Cavalier and Trash in Your Dreams. It's Shalom Hanover who gets a little bit of separation on 911 Hanover. Here's Shalom Hanover to the wire to win it. Shalom Hanover from 911 Hanover. Stampede was 3rd and C-Script was 4th. Mile clocking of 157-3 for Shalom Hanover.
Shalom Hanover, a beautiful looking son of Poppy Rob Hanover, out at first asking this morning with Doc Moore doing the driving himself, puts him right on the lead, controlling his own destiny and stopping the clock in 57-3, 28-1 on the end of it. This is a Poppy Rob Hanover colt and a sibling to no less than, six $100,000 winners, including the $1.1 million winning Scarlet Hanover, and this one owned by the Shalom Stable right here in Cambridge, and he wins it in hand, finishing a good second. 911 Hanover, the son of Always Be Mickey, and it was Stampede getting up in the late stages to nab the 3rd spot here. An impressive effort, and always interesting when you see Doc take the lines himself behind one.
Yeah, I think overall that was a great race there. Anytime we see Doc's name down here, I can almost guarantee he's not gonna go to the back with them. And he laid out there, maybe had a tough time settling the horse early, but he likes to set good fractions. And again, as you mentioned, this colt out of a very good mare, very well producing mare, great family, and again a $50,000 U.S. purchase. That looks like a good buy.
And one thing Poppy Rob Hanover does is produce good-looking individuals. I've noticed that in the last season or two, and this guy fits the bill. Just a nice-sized colt, really well put together. He's got a big engine in him, and looked like that didn't take anything out of him at all here this morning as we watch them making their way back here. So 3 in the books, and the times have been pretty impressive so far, so we think we've got a shot at reaching our speed targets today. And as we say that, the sun is starting to shine here. They've got the water back down on the track here, so I could see us seeing something a little quicker even as the day goes on.
Yeah, I think it's still coming. As you mentioned, the sun comes out. Track's going to hopefully get faster here. And, again, as the drivers get going throughout the day and they warm up, maybe they'll set some more fractions. And, again, we'll see what's coming up.
I can tell you they're working this track. They're going to have it just spot on for tomorrow night's big program. Of course, the $1 million Pepsi North America Cup, highlighting that powerful 13-race program here tomorrow evening. We've got race number 4 on deck, back on the trot when we return.
Canada's premier yearling auction, the London Classic Yearling Sale, returns this October. Hundreds of yearlings from Canada's top breeders and major buyers, all under one roof at the JR Expo Centre. And American buyers, remember, your dollar goes further here. From the world-renowned Ontario Sire Stakes program to the Grand Circuit, London Classic graduates compete at the sport's highest level. You can't afford to miss the London Classic Yearling Sale, October 13th and 14th. For more information, visit londonclassic.ca.
There's a look. You can see the sun shining here at Woodbine Mohawk Park. Welcoming you back to Day 2 coverage of this week's edition of the Rookie Showcase from Woodbine Mohawk Park in Campbellville. The baby race is in full swing here today. It's the boys taking center stage for both trotters and pacers. There's a look at a winner from a week ago in qualifying action. So he's coming back for trip number 2 behind the gate. His name is Aaron Wood Cosmo. $25,000 yearling purchase from the London Classic sale. And he was an eye-catching winner last week in 2:02.1. So we saw Pacer Go-Go Gadget win earlier today, and what impressed us was his quick turn of foot and how hard he was pacing through the wire. This guy did something similar, I thought, on the trot last week. It was, one of those that made you sit up and pay attention for sure when you saw him cross the wire. And John Rallis, our colleague, just sent me a note, some tidbits from his Twos in Training articles. And he said, in speaking with Jeff Williams back in April about this horse, as he was getting close to qualifying, said, back when he worked for Bob McIntosh, he always waited and jogged Western Shooter last because, no matter how his day was going, he knew he could look forward to that at the end of the day. And Western Shooter, of course, was just a phenomenal young pacer that unfortunately was taken too soon. Jeff says he's got the same approach with this guy. This is the one he always jogs last, And that's the reason. So that's pretty high praise when you think about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I tend to save the crazier ones for last when things are a little quieter out there. So maybe there's a little bit of that in them. But yeah, as we talked about last week, if I'm not wrong, I think he made a 3-high move around the last turn, and our eyes were bugging out of our heads at that. And again, first qualifying start home in 28-1. Again, making that move at 3/4. For a mile in 2-2. And again, we'll be looking to see if we can see anything even better than that this week.
That was the first thing we noticed when he made the move. Is we didn't expect him to move 3 wide at the point he did in a qualifying race with a baby trotter. But I think the horse was doing it so effortlessly. He just fed him racetrack and just let him do his thing. And there he is. Like, I just love the look of him. He's not a big guy, but he's just straight ahead. The head's down, and there's no wasted motion with him at all. So exciting to see what he'll come back with today. Let's hope he can just build on that and keep doing what he's doing. Many other new faces in the mix here, including his next door neighbor, King's Crown and Coke, who sold at the London Classic sale as well for $43,000. Trevor Henry's going to drive him, and Trevor's quite familiar with the family here. This one is a King of the North sibling to Captain Vania, who has done good things for the Henrys. Yeah,
and the Trevor Henry teaming up for Scott McEnany. John said it a number of times yesterday, but Scott's pretty happy with the crop he's got this year. You got the hot hands of Trevor behind him, and we'll be seeing if King's Crown and Coke can go with Aaron Wood Cosmo.
And post 4 here, we've got a full brother to Sid the Kid, $350,000 winner who, regular viewers of the Mohawk Park circuit will know that name. He's one of the upper echelon trotters on the circuit here. And Send Me No Flowers, again, a full brother to that one, out for his first try this morning as well. Back up to Mark McKelvey with the description of the upcoming 4th.
All right, we'll see what Aaron Wood Cosmo has for an encore after that rock-solid debut a week ago. That's where we start with number 1, Aaron Wood Cosmo, a gelded son of Alarm Detector for trainer Jeff Williams. Scott Young drives. Was a London Classic buy for $25,000. Number 2 is King's Crown and Coke, a King of the North colt for trainer Scott McEnany, Trevor Henry in the bike, $43,000 London Classic purchase. Number 3 is Honcho, a Green Shoe colt, Lexington Select buy for $30,000. And that one goes for Doug and Greg McNair. 4, Send Me No Flowers, Alarm Detector colt, homebred for Tom and Elizabeth Rankin, Ben Bayarjan trains. The driver is going to be James McDonald. 5 is Detonator Hanover, Muscle Mass colt, trained by Dr. Ian Moore, Tyler Moore in the sulky. This Muscle Mass colt bought out of Harrisburg for $80,000 US. 6 is Save You a Seat, an Archangel colt for trainer Francis Dumichel, Tyler Jones drives. And number 7 is Woodside Knight. This one, trained by Kyle Fellows, Mike Whalen in the sulky, went through Harrisburg for $5,000 US. A field of 7 in the hands of the starter for our 4th qualifier. 2-year-old Colton Gelding Trotter is now picking up speed, and here they come. And they're off and trotting. King's Crown and Coke out from post position number 2 to grab the early advantage. At the inside is Aaron Wood Cosmo in no real hurry, as Honcho might work around that one. Going towards the rail is Send Me No Flowers. Then we go to Detonator Hanover. Save You a Seat might get up a couple of positions here as it turns out. And also going to the rail will be Woodside Knight. As we trot to the first turn, Trevor Henry has King's Crown and Coke up top. Second is Aaron Wood Cosmo. And Save You a Seat hasn't found that seat yet. Instead is opting to start marching towards the lead. 32-3, an unhurried opening quarter, and Save You a Seat continues to work towards the top here for Tyler Jones. King's Crown and Coke will give way. Aaron Wood Cosmo is 4 lengths off the lead there in 3rd. Next up, 4th is going to be Honcho, who will be followed in line by Send Me No Flowers. Couple lengths going back to Detonator Hanover, and 2 more lengths back to Woodside Knight. So Save You a Seat had to sit on the outside for the opening 3/8 of the mile, lands on the lead, and here comes Aaron Wood Cosmo. It's going to be an earlier move this time out, 3rd to 1st up at the half. Midway point reached in 103 and 2. So your new leader is Aaron Wood Cosmo for Young. In second is Save You a Seat. King's Crown and Coke trots along in third. Fourth is going to be Honcho, who is followed by Send Me No Flowers in fifth. Coming off the rails, Detonator Hanover and the trailers Woodside Night. So Aaron Wood Cosmo made the move to the lead at the half and is trotting strong around the far turn, has a 4.5 length advantage on Save You a Seat. In third is King's Crown and Coke, 3/4 time, 132 and 1. So turning it up there, sub 29 second, third panel into the lane, and your leader is Aaron Wood Cosmo, who's trying to pick up another qualifying score. On the far outside, trying to advance, that is Detonator Hanover, and that one now gets into second. King's Crown and Coke off the rail goes by Save You a Seat, being tracked by Honcho, but it's all Aaron Wood Cosmo, the son of Alarm Detector, is going to go back to back. So it appears, getting tired late, and check out the rest from Detonator Hanover. Aaron Wood Cosmo was there. Detonator Hanover finishes second. King's Crown and Coke was third, and Honcho was fourth. Aaron Wood Cosmo does win it in 2:02 and 2.
Getting a look at the run out there, and Aaron Wood Cosmo, really different approach this time around. Jeff made the move to the lead in the middle half, kind of sprinted the third quarter, and right in here just was on cruise control. The last quarter not as strong this week. Not sure if the horse just got a little sleepy on the front end or a little tired. I'm going to chalk it up to the former. Again, just a young horse that probably was looking for a little bit of company or wondering, okay, what are we doing at this point? And then the years go down here, and he does kind of respond. But that's a nice rally from the runner-up finisher, Detonator Hanover, the son of Muscle Mass.
Yeah, the Ian Moore trotting trainee. You don't see him with too many trotters, but against Storming Home. And again, we talk about that third quarter move. Typically we'll see these races. We'll see them try to storm home. Youngie, instead of having to move 3 wide this week, he chose for the shorter path with the remove. And again, we mentioned it too. Kind of 32 and 3 first quarter, half in 103. Sometimes you just don't want them to get too slow. The fractions get a little bit too slow, and you make your move. But again, another good strong qualifier, 2-2 and 1. It's the exact same mile as last time. So again, he's showing well here. He'd certainly like to see them drop a few seconds, but we'll see. Aaron Wood Cosmo seems ready to race, and we'll see if he can continue to progress as he gets in the box.
The one big weapon he appears to have right now is that he's push button, and you can do whatever you want with him. So it's a big advantage for a 2-year-old, especially in the early stages of their racing careers. And there he is coming back again, diminutive trotter, and getting it done for the second consecutive week for driver Scott Young. Detonator Hanover, that was something you take notice of, that final quarter rally. He was closing now into a slowing final quarter, but nonetheless, he was clearly fastest of the rest over that final eighth of a mile and made it interesting. An $80,000 Harrisburg yearling purchase, this guy from the Ian Moore stable. We don't see Ian sending out as many trotters, but this one looks pretty good.
Yeah, arguably maybe a little bit more impressive than Aaron Wood Cosmo there. Detonator Hanover making his debut here today. We remarked on it a little bit before, but Aaron Wood Cosmo a little smaller. Detonator Hanover a bigger horse. Maybe he's got a little bit more to show us as the summer goes on.
4 races in the books here this morning. We're going to take another break and be back with another group of pacers. You're watching the Rookie Showcase.
Farm of Canada's home to 9 outstanding stallions, including Metro Base champion Captain's Quarters, who's new in 2026. Beach Glass, winner of the Meadowlands Pace and the last great son of Some Beach Somewhere, his first yearling crop sells in 2026. Lawless Shadow, an O'Brien Award winner and Meadowlands Pace champion, whose first crop sells in 2026. The Great McWicked, the richest pacing stallion in harness racing history, and 2-time O'Brien Award winner Tattoo Artist, a winner on every size track with many stakes and track records. Also standing Better Than Cheddar, Betting Line, My MVP, and Trixton. For more information, it's winbackfarm.com.
Well, it's turned into a beautiful Friday morning here at Woodbine Mohawk Park, and we welcome you back to coverage of the Rookie Showcase, the baby races. We had the fillies yesterday, and it's Colts today, and we're back on the pace for qualifier number 5. So we're going to take a break, I think, after qualifier 6 this morning. We'll take an intermission for about 20 minutes or so. We've got an interview during the break with Mark Lowy of Hanover Shoe Farm, so looking forward to that. That'll be coming up after race number 6. So a couple of more to go before we take our intermission break, and a group of pacers, as mentioned here. As part of the field, Bulldog Express, the number 7, has some impressive lineage when you look at the family here. This one a sibling to the Greek Freak, a high-level competitor here.
A horse we all know well, again, with tons of speed, tons of desire to win races. Tony Beaton here, James McDonald in hand. We'll be looking to see if Bulldog Express has the heart and the speed that his brother, the Greek Freak, had.
$75,000 yearling purchase, this guy. A little bit toward the inside of the gate, total account, number 3 in the field. And I think there's a look at him now. Doug McNair driving, a sibling to a $500,000 winner named Acknow. And this guy just a $30,000 purchase out of Lexington.
Another Stay Hungry here. Doug for Greg, a great team here. We'll be looking to see what kind of performance this guy can put forward. So again, we've only got one returning starter in here, the 5 Whiskey Stinger. A nice closing effort last time. Got away 6th. Home in 27-4 for a mile and 58-3. Again, we've kind of only seen that speed today, but we'll see if we can repeat that or get a little bit better.
And again, we're looking at the demeanor of the horses before they go postward here as much as anything. The majority of them now, they come out and they're eye-catching, their physical stature and appearance. Just the way the breeding has evolved, and it's become so much more refined. So now you're just looking for behavioral issues, and even that, you rarely see one now that's not, at least fairly well behaved out on the racetrack, where that used to be kind of a thing with the rookies, right? Because they're coming here, and it's a lot of new scenery that they're not used to. It's a totally different ball game, and especially in the morning with shadows on the track to throw into the mix as well. So you've got to be impressed overall with the demeanor when you look at it. Yeah,
absolutely. And you mentioned it on the last one, but push button. They all seem to be push button. It's almost an anomaly when you get one out here who isn't behaving well. They all look great. They all look like professionals. And again, for the most part, they've got professionals behind them teaching them really well.
Getting a look at them now. They're assembling in the backstretch, and they'll be moving up in behind the starting gate in a moment. We'll go back over to Mark McKelvey. Mark, you're coming in loud and clear despite being 4 hours away.
Thanks so much as they're lining up for this 5th qualifier. We're just getting a look to see who we've got on the track. Looks like the 1 is out, so that'll take us to the 2. Baywatch Blue Chip. Or sorry, I should say that's the 1 that's out. The 2 is 5 Alarm Fire. Bob McClure driving the Son of Always Be Mickey for trainer Doc Moore. Harrisburg Buy for $30,000 US. 3 is Total Account Stay Hungry Colt. Doug McNair for Greg McNair. This one went through the Lexington Select Sale for $30,000 US. 4 is going to be Landlubber, a Bulldog Hanover Colt, trained by Dominic Ledoux. Make the driver Mark McDonald. Harrisburg Buy for $52,000 US. Looks like we go on then to the 6. That's High Rise Hanover, gelded son of Tall Dark Stranger. Nicky Kamenia trains. Jordan Kamenia drives. Harrisburg purchased for $25,000 US. And then the 7 is Bulldog Express, a Bulldog Hanover Colt for trainer Tony Beaton. James McDonald in the bike, a Lexington Selected Yearling Sale purchase for $75,000 US. A couple of scratches brings us down to a field of 5. 2-year-old pacing colts here in our 5th qualifier of the day. Total of 11 qualifiers on this Friday from Woodbine Mohawk Park. Again, as mentioned a few moments ago, there will be a break following qualifier number 6. So the pacers for the 5th are lined up, everybody up on the gate as it swings into the stretch, picking up speed, and here they come. And they're off and pacing. First one to go forward, High Rise Hanover fires the first shot. Bulldog Express will follow ahead into second. Getting away in third is 5 Alarm Fire. Then in fourth is Total Account. And lining up fifth will be Land Lubber. So it's going to be High Rise Hanover, the son of Tall Dark Stranger, who will go out to the lead. Bulldog Express immediately got over in behind that one and will track as they come to the opening quarter. High Rise Hanover in the debut from Bulldog Express in second. That opening quarter time was 31 seconds flat. So Jordan Kamenya has High Rise Hanover on the lead, moving into the backstretch at 2-length advantage on Bulldog Express. They're looking good up front. Meanwhile, 5 Alarm Fire will look to close the gap in third. Fourth is Total Account, and Land Lubber rounds things out about 8 lengths off the lead. So they do start to tighten up here through this second panel. 31-second opener. High Rise Hanover leading it. And here's a move from Total Account. The Stay Hungry Colt is now starting to rush up for McNair as we go by the half. So Total Account up to confront High Rise Hanover at a midway clocking of 101 and 3. Into the bend they go. Total Account now takes the lead from High Rise Hanover. Bulldog Express is relegated back to third. Fourth is 5 Alarm Fire. 2.5 lengths back to Land Lubber as we're midway around the far turn. So Total Account, the Stay Hungry Colt, made that backside rush to the lead, and Total Account up top by 2 on High Rise Hanover in second. Bulldog Express biding time at the inside third, and then fourth is 5 Alarm Fire going back to Land Lubber. 1:30 and 2 was the 3/4 clocking. We're into the stretch, so Total Account has the lead. Total Account trying to finish off the job, and here on the outside comes 5 Alarm Fire. That one starting to range up and has a target. Also kicking into gears, Bulldog Express. Total Account, Bulldog Express, and 5 Alarm Fire. Here comes Bulldog Express. This one with a good final quarter is going to try and hold off 5 Alarm Fire. They do. It will be Bulldog Express from 5 Alarm Fire. Total Account was third. High Rise Hanover was fourth. 1:59 and 4 on a Bulldog Hanover. Bulldog Express.
There's Bulldog Express, nice powerful kick through the wire, coming up in between horses too, negotiating a little bit of traffic in the home stretch, and got kind of a nice way of going. Jeff carries his head low and seems to generate a lot of power there, getting up the middle to score here. And this is the brother to the Greek Freak, career winner in 48 and 1, $700,000 earner. And part of the ownership group on this one, Trot and Trev Ritchie. So I'm sure he's watching from somewhere today and tuning in, and I would think would like what he saw there.
Yep, yeah, I'd be super happy with that. Again, you know, for me, I've talked about it a lot, but just a patient steer from James McDonald, sitting in the 3-hole there as long as possible. And really, you know, we talk about the last quarters a lot, but it'd be also interesting to see just the last 8th as well, and just see how much they're accelerating even the last little portion of it, and finishing up strong. Again, James just sitting there third and blown right on by. Also a great effort from the Dr. Ian Moore trainee, 5 Alarm Fire, sitting fourth and basically scooping everyone except Bulldog Express. Again, a very, very good, impressive qualifier. You know, we might have been a little aggressive on our predictions here. Everybody seems to be going well, but not quite where we thought they'd be.
Yeah, I like the look of this guy, Bulldog Express. He's got a little bit of swagger out there on the racetrack, and 59 and 4, speed again. You know, we don't read really anything into that at this point in time. Each individual stable would likely come in today with individual targets for specific horses. This guy's he's a good-looking specimen. Really nice. Nice, strong-looking colt, and I love the gait. Love the way he carries his head, and kind of a straightforward approach too, and handled really nicely too. That's the main thing. James McDonald could really do what he wanted with the horse, and you know, he let James drive him. Put it that way. All right, we'll be back with one more before our break. You're watching the Rookie Showcase here on Primetime Racing.
The award-winning Terra Hill Stud is home to the All-Stars, including Cattle Wash, sire of the undefeated U.S. and Canadian Horse of the Year, Bo Jangles. Green Manalishi, the leading OSS stallion of 2 and 3-year-olds in 2025. Terra Hills is also home to Dan Patch Award winner King of the North, who is set to unleash his first crop in 2026. And of course, the perennial leading sire, Muscle Mass, whose sons and daughters have now earned over $90 million. This stacked roster is only getting deeper as Terra Hills welcomes for 2026 the Iron Horse of Bucka Bent Hanover and the champion son of Chapter 7, Killmister. This is Terra Hills Stud, home of the All-Stars. For more, visit terrahills.com.
We are just coming up to the midway point of this morning's 11-race session as we welcome you back to Woodbine Mohawk Park. Race number 6 is on deck as we have another group of trotters before we take our intermission. There's Northern Turbo stepping onto the track. Northern Turbo was out for qualifying last week. Another from the Jeff Williams barn looked very good, was leading and appeared to be cruising, and then just rolled into a break. So looking to come back this morning. I didn't get a chance to see Jeff to see if there were any changes or anything done with the horse in the last week to get him ready here for this morning. A $45,000 London Classic Sale graduate. We've got a half brother in here to run director for Tom and Elizabeth Rankin, the post 1 starter. Run director, I believe now standing stud here in Ontario. And he was a good one on the racetrack, close to $700,000 in his career. And the Rankins, they do a great job and certainly would have a soft spot for a horse like this for sure. Wallner on the way, your post 3 starter in here. Trevor Henry will look for another winner aboard this one. Bargain basement purchase out of the U.S. last year for just $8,000. Jamie Copley trains this one. Wolf of Wall Street is the other in the field. He's going to come back for a second attempt this week. Now, he jumped it off at the start last time, so really couldn't get any kind of a read on what we're looking at there. Hopefully he'll be able to keep it together. So the horses that are out for a second time, now it's where you want to see some progression, whether they made miscues, you just want to see them get a flat line or do that and step their time up as well.
Yeah, as you mentioned, you had a little bobble to start the mile last time out. Still a final quarter in 29 seconds, which I think for your first time out you'd be pretty happy with. A mile and 2.8, we'd certainly be looking to improve on that, and yeah, hopefully we can see an improvement out of Wolf of Wall Street here.
There's James looking for back-to-back winners here. He'll team up with a Pam Forgey trainee from Post 7. Just Pour Some Sugar on Me. Great song from Def Leppard. And this one is a son of Equity D out of a Cantab Hall mare. And another bargain basement yearling purchase, just $5,000 out of Harrisburg last fall. You're always looking for those diamonds in the rough, and this one would fit the bill. Got a homebred in here as well. That one, Fast Car. Gelded son of Green Manalishi out of an Angus Hall mare, Arbro Exuberant. Patrick Dillon is the owner and does the training, and this one was bred by Mike and Sandra Smith of Millbrook. So that is your field of 7 trotters. Again, following this, we're going to take an approximately 20-minute break for track maintenance and to allow horses time to warm up and get ready for the back half. We're going to have a pre-taped interview with Mark Lowy of Hanover Shoe Farms. Looking forward to that. And what have we got, Jeff? It appears one's maybe back to the paddock.
Yeah, well, Bob's having a tough time there with Fast Cars, we mentioned, but he's got him circled around and headed back towards the gate. We should be ready to go here in just a couple seconds.
So there he is, a kind of a flashy-looking son of Green Manalishi. They're getting set to go here, so the starting gate's going to get ready to move into position. And again, now the sun out in full force. It is a beautiful morning, and the weather's looking good for this weekend. So that's exciting as we look ahead to tomorrow night's race program right here at Woodbine Mohawk Park Pepsi North America Cup weekend. We've got trotters next here, gate rolling. Back over to Mark McKelvey.
Thanks so much. Here is the field for this sixth qualifier. Midway point on this Friday morning. 1 is Spiritual Guidance. It'll be Doug McNair for trainer Greg McNair, a homebred for Tom and Elizabeth Rankin. This is a Muscle Mass colt. Number 2, Northern Turbo, a gelded son of Muscle Mass. Jeff Williams trains. Jody Jamieson drives. $45,000 London Classic purchase. 3, Walner All the Way is a Walner colt for trainer Jamie Copley. Trevor Henry is between the wheels. This one came out of Harrisburg for $8,000 US. Number 4, Wolf of Wall Street, is a Forbidden Trade colt for trainer Blake McIntosh. Tyler Borth gets the driving assignment, a $20,000 London Classic find. 5 is Fast Car, gelded son of Green Manalishi. It's Bob McClure for trainer Pat Dillon. And then we go on to the 6th, The Italian Job. Driver change to Jonathan Drury for trainer Rick Zeron. Gelded son of Captain Corey, The Italian Job, a Harrisburg purchase for $40,000 US. Our last one to meet, on the outside, number 7, Just Pour Some Sugar on Me, is a Acurie D colt for Pam Forgy. The driver is James McDonald. And Just Pour Some Sugar on Me, a Harrisburg purchase for $6,000 US. So the 2, Northern Turbo, and the 4, Wolf of Wall Street, both coming back for a second qualifying try. The others making their debut as the gate picks up speed for qualifier number 6. And they're off and trotting. Northern Turbo and Wolf of Wall Street, the returnees from a week ago, are going to get away 1-2 as Wolf of Wall Street is quite pumped up and goes out to the top. Northern Turbo to get away second. Spiritual Guidance from the rail is third. The Italian Job gets ahead of a few to land in fourth in front of Just Pour Some Sugar on Me, going back to Walner All the Way, and Fast Car Can See Them All. So into that first bend, and definitely green up front here as this is Wolf of Wall Street, as Tyler Borth will get this one to settle up front. 31-1 opening quarter. So Wolf of Wall Street will move to the backstretch with Northern Turbo behind in second. Wolf of Wall Street trying to rebound after a miscue last week. He did it early. Northern Turbo made a break late. They're 1-2 with 3/8 of the mile now in the books. Spiritual Guidance 4 lengths off the top is racing in third. Then next you're going to find the Italian Job in fourth. Just Pour Some Sugar on Me is fifth. Our final pair, Walner All the Way and Fast Car. Wolf of Wall Street up to the half, 31-1 opener, 102-2, so that's back-to-back 31-1 splits. Wolf of Wall Street, the son of Forbidden Trade, going into the far turn, again, takes it a little bit wide. Northern Turbo in second, 2-length gap to Spiritual Guidance in third. The Italian Job mid-pack in fourth. Just Pour Some Sugar on Me is then racing in fifth, followed by Walner All the Way, and right behind that one is Fast Car. Mid-pack and moving out from fourth. The Italian Job the first to go. Just Pour Some Sugar on Me will look to follow. The leader here is Wolf of Wall Street, and by 3/4 in a time of 1:33-2. Wolf of Wall Street carried the baton this far. Now pressing on the outside is the Italian Job, and this one's looking good trying to get on by. So the Italian Job takes the lead from Wolf of Wall Street. Northern Turbo following behind third. Just Pour Some Sugar on Me on the outside for McDonald. Then going back to Spiritual Guidance and Walner All the Way. It is the Italian Job who marched on up, takes the lead, and the Italian Job with a nice qualifying debut. The son of Captain Corey wins it for Drury. Finishing second, Wolf of Wall Street battles on to hold on to that 2 spot. Just Pour Some Sugar on Me was third, 2:02-1.
Jonathan Drury with his second winner this morning, and guiding this guy to the 2:02-1 victory, 28-4 speed, and individually probably even a little tick faster than that. The gelded son of Captain Corey, a $40,000 Harrisburg yearling purchase, and another from the Rick Zeron barn. First full from the Muscle Hill mare, Sweet Borghese, and this guy cruising to an easy victory here, making it look pretty impressive, holding on for the victory over Wolf of Wall Street, or he held on for second, I should say, after setting the tempo. Just Pour Some Sugar on Me, rallying up for third. So JD up behind a couple of nice ones this morning, including this guy.
Yeah, he's got a couple good mounts, it looks like. They done a number of good names in there. Wolf of Wall Street, we had fast car and just pour some sugar on me. A couple song innuendos there, and the movie innuendos here in the Italian Job, making it like the movie, and looking like the getaway car there. And again, kind of fitting here, we're going to go to the interview with Mark Lowy from Hanover Shoe Farms, and a son of Captain Corey here, getting the job done.
Yeah, that former Hambletonian winner has made quite a splash in the last couple of seasons, and kind of stamps his horses as well. This guy wasn't really watching him that closely throughout the mile until we picked him up turning for home, and that was a nice late kick on the end of it, and again, just looks like it was a walk in the park for him. And Rick Zeron, we talked about it a little bit yesterday, he had a good day. He has another group of good young trotters, and he is a terrific horseman. And I think he's set up for a nice season, an exciting season potentially. And he's got looks like horses for different jurisdictions potentially, and who knows, maybe even some Grand Circuit potential with some of these. Still got a ways to go though, but the first step, a successful one for the Italian Job. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back with that interview with Mark Lowy after the break.
Well, the moment is here, and the time is now as we get set for one of the biggest races on Canadian soil. It's the Pepsi North America Cup, $1 million on the line.
And a perfect start, and away they go. That's the fastest three-quarters in the history of the Cup. 27-1, stakes and track record. In the Gold Cup and Saucer.
Archer Scott Giron in the Gold Cup and Saucer.
Join us this August on Prince Edward Island for the Gold Cup and Saucer, presented by Atlantic Lottery. Visit redshores.ca for more details.
From Hanover's Bertha to Bulldog Hanover. From Shepherd to Simpson to Williams. Hanover Shoe Farms, celebrating 100 years as the greatest name in harness racing.
Canada's premier yearling auction, the London Classic Yearling Sale, returns this October. Hundreds of yearlings from Canada's top breeders and major buyers, all under one roof at the JR Expo Centre. And American buyers, remember, your dollar goes further here. From the world-renowned Ontario Sire Stakes program to the Grand Circuit, London Classic graduates compete at the sport's highest level. You can't afford to miss the London Classic Yearling Sale, October 13th and 14th. For more information, visit londonclassic.ca.
Winback Farm of Canada is home to 9 outstanding stallions, including Metro Base champion Captain's Quarters, who's new in 2026. Beach Glass, winner of the Meadowlands Pace and the Last Great Son of Some Beach Somewhere, his first yearling crop sells in 2026. Lawless Shadow, an O'Brien Award winner and Meadowlands Pace champion, whose first crop sells in 2026. The Great McWicked, the richest pacing stallion in harness racing history, and two-time O'Brien Award winner Tattoo Artist, a winner on every size track with many stakes and track records. Also standing Better Than Cheddar, Betting Line, My MVP, and Trixton. For more information, it's winbackfarm.com.
Welcome back. We are at Woodbine Mohawk Park, as mentioned, for day 2 here of the Rookie Showcase. Getting set for Pepsi North America Cup weekend, an exciting time, of course. The baby race is now in full swing, and looking ahead to that big program here tomorrow evening from the showplace of Canadian harness racing, Woodbine Mohawk Park here in Campbellville, Ontario. And when you pull out a racing program anywhere in North America, you're going to see the name Hanover all over it, and for decades they have been the premier breeder in North American harness racing. The greatest name in harness racing for sure. And earlier this week, our Mark McKelvey caught up with the vice president of Hanover Shoe Farms, Mark Lowy.
Well, as the Rookie Showcase continues here on Primetime Racing, it's time to spotlight the greatest name in harness racing, that being Hanover Shoe Farms, and we're pleased to be joined by the Vice President of Customer Relations, Mark Lowy. Mark, it's always great to chat with you, and we usually spend a lot of time talking around the yearling sales in the fall, but as we roll into the summer, it's a pretty important time, and I know you've got your eye on those Hanover breds as they start to hit the track. We'll get to that in a second, but Mark, appreciate you doing this. Not too long ago, a real tragic event occurred at Hanover Shoe Farms with a barn fire. Can you provide a bit of an update on how things are going since then?
Yeah, anytime, anybody who's been around a bonfire knows how horrific they are and how difficult it is to get beyond it. But it is what it is, and you have to move on. We still have almost 1,000 horses we have to care for and take, pride in. And so, the help, buckle down first couple of days, 4 or 5 days, definitely difficult. A lot of support from locals and Cunningham Insurance and the Hamiltonian Society setting up for, a lunch for the whole farm and this, different things like that. So we're getting through it. It's never easy, but as I said, we have a lot to do. We have to keep moving on.
As we always learn about those involved in the standardbred industry, they're a very resilient bunch, and I'm not surprised to hear that the group there at Hanover continues to push forward. But our condolences and obviously our best wishes continuing forward. On a lighter note, as I talked about off the top, we're seeing the babies hitting the track here now, and it's an exciting time. A lot of optimism, whether that be for the owners, the trainers. How about on the breeding side? When you look at these horses that you have raised and now sold, do you get a little anxious, a little nervous to see who's going to emerge maybe as some of the most successful from the most recent crop?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And, before we say anything, Hanover just wants to say that, we are so appreciative of the support we get from our neighbors up north. Canadian buyers have been so kind to Hanover, and hopefully we've been successful for them. So, it's a great marriage, and we really appreciate their support. It's not even just the 2-year-olds, even the 3-year-olds coming back. I one of my duties I took upon myself is every morning I go through every racetrack's results and look for any Hanover bred that is a maiden winner or a new lifetime mark or a stakes winner. So, the 3-year-olds are certainly starting to pop now. And when the 2-year-olds come, it's just as exciting. Captain Corey's still the talk of the town, which we love. And, we always have, great support with Captain Treacherous and Stay Hungry and Pappy Robs and even the Tall Dark Strangers, Green Shoes. They're all doing well right now. And it's an exciting time, as you said.
Mark, when you look at the horses that are starting to hit the track right now, obviously, probably when you take them to the sale, every horse matures at a different rate, whether they were born early, maybe a bit of a late foal. Are you getting updates over the course of the winter or checking in with different trainers just to see how some of those Hanover breds are coming along? And generally, I'm sure there's a few horses specifically that you're keeping a close eye on.
Oh, absolutely. I've been fortunate enough to make a trip every year to Marcus Melander's training stable in March and watch him train. Counting his 90-something horses, he has 12 Hanover breds if you count 2, 3, and 4-year-olds. So, it's nice to see this Spencer Hanover, Spencer's sister, Super Chapter, Meshuggah. So, tripped down, and then I made 2 trips to Florida, one to northern Florida to Southern Oaks and to Spring Garden, and then to South Florida, Sunshine Meadows. So, opportunity to check in with, Linda Toscano and Megan Scran and John Butenshane and, of course, Dr. Moore. When I was up north. So getting updates from all of them, as Dr. Moore, he had to take me stall by stall, show me everyone and tell me how great everyone was. So it's always fun to be with him.
Well, like I said, the optimism is quite high at this time of the year as everyone builds towards getting these 2-year-olds on the track. You talked about one of your top stallions, that being Captain Corey. Can you talk a little bit more about the success that he has been and Whether or not, in your opinion, has he exceeded expectations, or is this exactly where you thought he might be?
I think it's hard to say he did not exceed expectations. I mean, there were a lot of question marks. I mean, great racehorse, there's no question about it. But, he had a unique pedigree, and people were not convinced that pedigree was going to follow through, and and he'd have nothing but successful trotters on the track. So I would say we were somewhat elated and surprised at how well he did. And, he so far with his 3-year-olds, they're continuing to show just as well as the 2-year-olds did. So, the endurance horse couldn't have gone a bigger trip in the, Oak Grove Classic. And, you asked for a win-win situation. He won a phenomenal race, and to get beat by Chapter 7 that Hanover bred, you couldn't ask for better than that.
Well, you keep a close eye on those horses. Endurance is certainly one that we've all had pegged, excited to see him coming back at age 3. On the pacing side of things, you talked about the longevity of a Captain Treacherous. You talk about a Poppy Rob Hanover. What about on the pacing side? Again, I guess you let you go that really in any direction you want. But when you look at those pacing stallions, not surprised year in and year out to see them producing the way they are.
No question about it. I mean, captain is captain, and every year he doesn't disappoint. And even with him, it's not just his 2-year-olds, his 3-year-olds. At 4 and 5, if they're racing, elated to watch Prince Al Hanover start the year the way he started already. Winning down in Miami Valley, and then coming up and winning the Juravinsky. So, but he's always in demand at the sales, and he never seems to disappoint.
How about for new stallions? I know Sig Sawyer came into the mix. Anything we should be keeping our eye on? I know, obviously, we're still a little ways away from whether that be first crops for those stallions or the sales coming up. But what's there to be excited at Hanover?
Well, this year we do have a first crop stallion that will be selling yearlings, and that's Volume 8, son of Chapter 7, who is standing here and has some very nice individuals that we're looking forward to selling this year. 6 Hour, as you said, his foals are just hitting the ground now. So they're certainly ones that we're excited to look at. So far, what we've seen, we've been very happy with those as well. On the pacing side, we haven't captured that next great pacing stallion yet, but you never know. Hopefully there's one out there this year we might be able to grab.
Well, as we wrap things up here, we appreciate your support of the Rookie Showcase. As much as all the hats you've worn in the industry, you're certainly a fan. Is there anything specific that you're looking forward to over the course of this stake season within the industry? There's obviously quite a bit of talent, whether that be on the pacing or trotting side.
Yeah, it seems it's getting exceptional groups in both, on the trot and paces here, 3-year-olds and the age horses. I think the age trotters are going to be very exciting. And the 2-year-olds, you never know what to expect, but I'm sure they won't disappoint us. And again, I just want to thank all the support we got, from John Bax or Steve Palermo, Dave Maneri, Hurry Holland, Gino Toscani, Tony Beaton, all these people who take the time to come to the fairgrounds, look at the yearlings, and and have purchased and done well. The Stacys, Chantel Mitchell, 100,000 last year for a King of the North, and just an update. Sylvia Hanna has been bred and is declared info to Captain Treacherous. So there's something to look forward to.
Certainly. That's very exciting, and one of the recent greats, and excited to see what will happen in her next phase of her career. Mark, we appreciate you doing this. Look forward to catching up down the road. All the best.
Sounds good. Thanks again. I appreciate it.
And all the exciting things happening at Hanover Shoe Farms. Of course, they quite prominent now as well in the Ontario Sire Stakes program. We will take a quick break and be back with the resumption of the back half of today's Rookie Showcase.
Well, the moment is here, and the time is now as we get set for one of the biggest races on Canadian soil. It's the Pepsi North America Cup, $1 million on the line. We have a perfect start, and away they go.
That's the fastest 3/4 in the history of the cup. 27-1 stakes and track record. 18, and Tyler Moore in the Gold Cup and Saucer.
Archer Scott Giron in the Gold Cup and Saucer.
Join us this August on Prince Edward Island for the Gold Cup and Saucer, presented by Atlantic Lottery. Visit redshores.ca for more details.
From Hanover's Bertha to Bulldog Hanover. From Shepherd to Simpson to Williams. Hanover Shoe Farms, celebrating 100 years as the greatest name in harness racing.
Canada's premier yearling auction, the London Classic Yearling Sale, returns this October. Hundreds of yearlings from Canada's top breeders and major buyers, all under one roof at the JR Expo Centre. And American buyers, remember, your dollar goes further here. From the world-renowned Ontario Sire Stakes program to the Grand Circuit, London Classic graduates compete at the sport's highest level. You can't afford to miss the London Classic Yearling Sale, October 13th and 14th. For more information, visit londonclassic.ca.
Winback Farm of Canada is home to 9 outstanding stallions, including Metro-based champion Captain's Quarters, who's new in 2026. Beach Class, winner of the Meadowlands Pace and the last great son of Some Beach Somewhere, his first yearling crop sells in 2026. Lawless Shadow, an O'Brien Award winner and Meadowlands Pace champion, whose first crop sells in 2026. The Great McWicked, the richest pacing stallion in harness racing history, and two-time O'Brien Award winner Tattoo Artist, a winner on every size track with many stakes and track records. Also standing Better Than Cheddar, Betting Line, My MVP, and Trixton. For more information, it's winbackfarm.com.
Getting set to resume coverage today of the Rookie Showcase Baby Races. We've got the 2-year-olds, the Colts today, Trotters, Pacers going postward, 11 races in total, 6 in the books, and we've got 5 more left to go. So we welcome you back. Greg Blanchard and Jeff Hunt trackside here. Mark McKelvey, he's in Kingston today, but he's calling the action remotely for us. And we've got more blue chip prospects to cover in this group, including 3 from the same barn. The inside 3 will be going postward here. There's a look at our complete list today of 6-figure yearlings that will be part of our coverage. So the inside 3 here: Rocket Star, LA Captain, Hamilton, Hanover, all sent out by conditioner Luke Blay. Combined $700,000 in yearlings here. A couple of them are first foals from the mares. Rocket Star, the 1, the Chestnut Son of Cattle Wash, the 2 LA Captain, a Captain Treacherous colt, both first foal from their dams. And Hamilton Hanover, the post 3 starter. This one is a sibling to a good one.
Sibling to Hammering Hank, who made 580,000 career with a mark of 51-1, and as I said, as a 2-year-old, won the kindergarten. Pretty impressive. You can see why they paid some good money for him. Pretty good effort the first time out. Home 28-4 for a mile and 2.2. Be looking for a little bit better here today. Also super impressed with LA Captain's first effort last week, finishing second at Dagger 1. Home in 27-4, and just behind him, the 5, Ordinary Superstar, also home 27-4. So we got a couple interesting colts to watch for the second time here today.
An Ordinary Superstar, one of the highest price yearlings out of the London Classic sale last year. Collared for $135,000 by a new owner, Power Racing Stable of Burlington. And Len Lalonde Jr., now part of the ownership group there, and does the training, of course, and made a good, I think, first impression last week in his qualifying effort. Treacherous Wind, this guy, a mid-priced yearling out of the, I think, the Harrisburg sale last year. Captain Treacherous colt, sibling to a good one named Gulf Shores, who's got $650,000 on his card. So all kinds of blue chip pedigrees in this group, and as we go through them sort of top to bottom in here. We just had a look a moment ago at Blue Ice, another son of Cattle Wash. This one a more moderately priced yearling, Blake McIntosh doing the training on this guy, and it looks like Doug McNair was scheduled to drive. I think he's still out there to drive. In fact, Tyler Borth. So my apologies. We're just getting word that Tyler Borth's going to take over the drive on that one. One of the more intriguing groups on paper anyway, Jeff, when you looked at today's session.
Yeah, absolutely. We were a little aggressive with our times, hoping that maybe we could get a little bit lower than last week, and maybe this is the group to do it for us since they've got some experience.
I think so. That's exactly what I was going to say. If anyone's eligible to maybe drop a second or two this week, it could come from this group as we see them assembling. Not sure if there's a little delay here or not. We'll keep our eyes peeled. We're reacting in real time here as things happen. And again, looking at the overall performance today, I think that as impressive as anything has been the way the horses have behaved. They come with built-in manners these days, it seems.
As we said, push button as you mentioned earlier, and as we get a look on the screen, whatever the delay is here, we're waiting. They all seem to be nice and calm, and they don't seem to be too stressed out to be on the track. They don't seem too worried about having a little extra time to settle down. And whether they're young or whether they're race horses, it's always good to know that they'll take a break for you in between.
I see what's going on. We're looking behind us now. The water truck came by, a couple of conditioners out there. So apparently they had their last lap to go, it looks like. So I think we'll have a start here coming up shortly. Who knows? We might see some future O'Brien Award prospects. Of course, we were excited this year, Jeff, to host the O'Brien Awards in London for the first time. And your first time being involved in your role at Standardbred Canada, that was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. It was, you don't realize how much work and effort goes into planning it, especially taking it to a new location. And again, it was a great night. It looked beautiful. I was very happy to be with an industry partner and support London and the Western Fair District.
Okay, it looks like the starting gate is indeed rolling as we kick off the back half of today's qualifying races. Back over to announcer Mark McKelvey.
All right, guys, back half. As mentioned, the 7th qualifier sees the field of 8 as programmed, all out there taking their positions. Just that one driver note of 7 Blue Ice. It'll be Tyler Borth. 1 is Rocket Star, a cattle wash colt for Luke Blay. Bob McClure drives. Determination owns a $250,000 U.S. purchase out of the Harrisburg yearling sale. 2 is LA Captain, a Captain Treacherous colt, again for Determination. Blay, the driver will be James McDonald. This one was a $200,000 U.S. buy out of Harrisburg. 3 is Hamilton Hanover, once again for Luke Blay and Determination. Driver Tyler Jones, Captain Treacherous colt as well, a $250,000 U.S. buy from Harrisburg. So now we get away from the Blade trainees who have the inside 3 starting spots. On to 4 Global Choice, a Courtly Choice colt for trainer driver Gino Toscani, $25,000 out of Lexington. Next up 5, Ordinary Superstar, Bulldog Hanover 2-year-old for Len Lalonde, Jody Jameson, $135,000 buy out of the London Classic. 6 is Treacherous Win, a Captain Treacherous colt for Kyle Fellows. Doug McNair will drive. This one comes out of the Lexington Select sale for $65,000 US. 7 is Blue Ice, a cattle wash colt for Blake McIntosh. Make the driver Tyler Borth. This one went through Harrisburg for $18,000 US. And on the outside is number 8, Just Keep Flying, a Bulldog Hanover colt for trainer Scott McEnany. Driver is Trevor Henry, Lexington Select yearling sale graduate for $26,000. A field of 8 as we resume with today's qualifying action. Pacers picking up speed for the 7th. Here they come. And they're off and pacing. Shooting from the center is going to be Ordinary Superstar, second time out, and this one heading towards the lead. Early speed being flashed by Global Choice, and up on the outside is Treacherous Win. Getting away in 4th will be LA Captain, back to Rocket Star, followed by Hamilton Hanover. Blue Ice is second from the back, and Just Keep Flying from the outside. Yields to the back, can see them all. It's Ordinary Superstar up front for Jameson, and this son of Bulldog Hanover leads it by 2.5 lengths to the opening quarter in a time And we'll get that for you in a little bit. They'll move into the backstretch, and we had a breaker coming out of that first turn in Rocket Star. That one made a miscue. So it's Ordinary Superstar leading it by 2. Global Choice is in second. Treacherous Wind is third. LA Captain is fourth. There goes Treacherous Wind underway for McNair. Let's go back to Hamilton Hanover in fifth. Some struggles for Rocket Star, but starts to recover now and has 2 beaten. That's Blue Ice and Just Keep Flying. Second quarter move to the lead for the Captain Treacherous Colt, Treacherous Wind, who's now on the point as they go by the half mile in 1 minute and 3/5. Treacherous Wind lands up front here and will try to keep motoring along. Ordinary Superstar is breathing down that one's neck in second. 2 lengths back to Global Choice in third. LA Captain is about 5.5 lengths off the lead in fourth. Then back to Hamilton, Hanover, Rocket Star. It's been an adventurous trip so far. Then to Blue Ice and Just Keep Flying. Treacherous Wind takes the lead out to 2, as Treacherous Wind will get us to 3/4. From Ordinary Superstar, the early leader, back in second. 1:29 and 2, the 3/4 time. Off the turn and into the stretch. Treacherous Wind a little wide, now trying to straighten out to finish off strong. Back in second is Ordinary Superstar. Global Choice is third. Inside LA Captain, followed by stablemate Hamilton Hanover. Less than 1/8 of a mile to go. Treacherous Wind still with a couple of lengths of separation on Ordinary Superstar. Finishing up well in behind is going to be LA Captain, who will dive to the rail, but it's Treacherous Wind to take it. Finishing in second was Ordinary Superstar. Hamilton Hanover was up for third. Then it was to LA Captain. 1:58 and 2 for Treacherous Wind.
The first timer, Treacherous Wind, kicking home with 57 and 4 back half speed. Made that snap move to the lead after the half, and will hold many others at bay here, including several that were out for a second effort. So this was a really good debut for this guy. Drifted a little bit wide off the turn, but once he straightened up, all business from there.
Yeah, super impressive. Again, we kind of came into this one talking about the returnees, and first-time starter Treacherous Wind here for Kyle Fellows. Steals the show, not only with a move in the back half, but drawing away from them at the end. And again, we mentioned the sibling to Gulf Shores, very impressive here. Gulf Shores, I believe, standing in Minnesota now, a jurisdiction I know a little bit about. Again, you can't be much more impressed about that, and Kyle Fellows gets on the board for the first time.
This guy, Pennsylvania bred by Diamond Creek Farm, and owned now by Blair Corbeil, along with Yolanda Fellows and the Windermere Stables of New York. Kyle Fellows does the training. Got a chance to speak with him briefly here this morning, and he had good things to say about the colt. Was cautiously optimistic we'd see a good effort here this morning. That's exactly what we did, and it appeared that Doug knew what he was sitting on too, to make that kind of a move with the first timer in that second quarter, and the colt really responded well once he grabbed control of the racetrack. Ordinary Superstar, he'll follow in for the runner-up finish, so it looks like he's getting ready to go and ready to make his pari-mutuel debut. I thought Hamilton Hanover had one of the most eye-catching last quarters in the race as well. Really kicked home, and especially that last 16th.
Yeah, he looked good. Closing up, as you said, LA Captain, another strong effort as well. Again, another good race. We got a couple prospects to watch here over the summer.
All right, time for a bath, and then it'll be back for next week, hopefully with some of these. We'll take another quick break. Back with more Trotters when we come back.
Harness Racing Update covers the sport from all the angles, with news, opinion, features, photography, and the most comprehensive racing, breeding, and sales stories in the game from around the globe. It's all delivered by a deep, diverse, and talented team of writers and photographers. Plus, HRU's popular Twos and Training series on YouTube gives you the first look at the stars of tomorrow. And the best news? It's all free. Subscribe to HRU today for free at harnessracingupdate.com.
welcoming you back to coverage of the Rookie Showcase here on Primetime TV. Welcome all of our viewers tuning in today on Game Plus, including Freddie McDonald. We know he's at home watching there, and all of the folks watching on the various social media platforms as well. We hope you are enjoying the coverage today, all made possible by the sponsors you see on screen. And again, a big thank you to all of them. We are back on the trot for qualifier number 8, and a full field of 8 slated to go postward in the spot. The highest priced yearling of the group that'll be sent out here is King Sullivan, one of 5 King of the North offspring of the field. He'll have post number 3. And this is a first full from the EL Titan mare Lefkada. She was a really good high-end trotting mare for Jack Ray when she raced, was stakes placed, earned almost $200,000 on the racetrack. And a lot of people really took notice of this guy at last fall's London sale. He was one of the ones people were talking about, and thus was collared for $150,000. So Tom and Elizabeth Rankin were the ones that purchased the horse. He'll be sent out here today, Ben by Airjean Training, and Tyler Borth listed to drive in here. We'll see Kyle Fellows looking to come right back here. He's got another son of King of the North. His name is Gold Rush King.
Yeah, first time starter. We don't know what to expect here. Almost, the way Dougie drove that one in the last qualifier, you wonder if maybe he'd had an opportunity to sit beside some of these, behind some of these Fellows trainees, and we'll be looking to see what he knows about this one for Kyle in the 8th here.
And again, we see the Rankins on the ownership here, and I know your dad had a long and very lucrative relationship with them over the years. Just talk a little bit about them as owners and their impact on the sport here in Ontario.
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Rankin, very successful in his own regard, and gave him the ability to support our industry and as we say, spend money. I had the opportunity to speak with him quite a bit over the winter. And again, it bloodlines there as well. He's got an amazing family. Almost every one of his kids they're doctors, they're engineers. The grandchildren are doing super well, and he continues to invest in the industry. He does a great job. And again, it was. I always say I didn't spend a lot of time in the barns as a kid. I was more into my sports, I suppose. But a lot of times on the weekend, the Rankin farm up there was almost a training facility for me. I'd get to go up there on the weekends, and I didn't do much with the horses, but I'd throw the baseball around. We had another man, Dr. Gleddy, used to come in, and he used to run a hyperbaric chamber there for the horses and whatnot. And he worked with some major league pitchers, actually, so he helped me with my pitching up there. And again, it was just a super experience and situation for my family to be with him. And I continue to wish him all the best. Hope that alarm detectors do well for him. Hope all of his horses do well, and love to see his horses come out and win.
Yeah, great people to have in the game, and their impact continues to be felt. No question. There's a look at King Sullivan. Makes a nice pre-race appearance here. He'll be leaving outside Aaronwood at Triton, and this guy's also a first foal out of Angelina Hanover, sired by Trixton. Just a $16,000 London Classic purchase last year. Mark Etzel trains and drives this guy. We've seen the Aaronwood Farms already have a winning credit earlier on the card as Aaronwood Cosmos came back for a second consecutive win. Another intriguing one here, Cyclone Sealster, another King of the North, out of Purple Aura, and this will be the first full out of that mare. And I think there's definitely pedigree potential here. And it was Maneri Racing and Clint Guitard and a numbered company that dove in to collar this one last year. Just $20,000 out of the London Classic sale, and I think a lot of potential on this one. So maybe not all those high-end blue chip type pedigrees on paper anyway, but I think an intriguing group nonetheless that we're going to see go postward here. Wouldn't be surprised to see one or two of these kind of jump up and do something that impresses.
Yeah, these are anytime we're all familiar with the success that Dave Maneri's had over the last couple of years. Anytime you sort of see him stay on a horse, you got to think there's something interesting. The horse looks good there, and again, not all the blue chip prospects are the ones who go on to be the best. Sometimes these sort of diamonds in the rough are the ones who catch our eye the most.
All right, let's go over to our blue chip race caller this morning, Mark McKelvey.
All right, gentlemen, let's see the field here as they all move up to take their positions for the 8th qualifier. One is King of the South, the King of the North colt for trainer Scott McEnany. Trevor Henry drives. This one comes out of Harrisburg for $21,000 US. Number 2, Aaronwood Tritton. This is a Trixton colt. Mark Etzel trains and drives. $16,000 purchase from the London Classic. On to the 3, King Sullivan, another King of the North colt. Ben Bayarjan trains. Tyler Borthel drive. $150,000 London Classic yearling sale purchase. 4 is Walker CCL, Walner colt, Gino Toscani, the owner-trainer driver. Got this one from Lexington for $22,000 US. On to the 5, Gold Rush King, King of the North colt. Kyle Fellows trains, Doug McNair drives. Gold Rush King, purchased out of the Lexington Select sale for $22,000 US. 6 is Commander Kelly. Jody Jameson will take the controls for trainer Blake McIntosh. Trixton colt here. 7 is Cyclone Sealster, 2-year-old son of King of the North. For Dave Maneri, James McDonald drives, a $20,000 London Classic buy. And on the outside is number 8, Benjamin Blue Chip, a King of the North colt. Amanda Riley trains, Jonathan Drury will steer. This one purchased at Harrisburg for $4,000 US. It's a field of 8 for qualifier number 8 as we're back on the trot. 5 sons of King of the North from the first crop of that award winner, Breeders' Crown champion. Starting gate swings into the stretch. Here they come for the 8th. And they're off and trotting. A break at the start there for the 6, Commander Kelly. Might have had a little interference at the start there. Quickly resets. Going out to the lead is going to be Walker CCL. Another breaker. That was the 2, Aaronwood Tritton. Marching up into second is King Sullivan. To that one's wheel is going to be Cyclone Sealster, who might press on. Then back to King of the South, followed by Benjamin Blue Chip. Going to Gold Rush King, and then we did have those breakers in the early going. Commander Kelly and Aaronwood Tritton. To the top goes Cyclone Sealster for James McDonald, and this one's well clear by 5. Goes by the opening quarter. It is Cyclone Sealster there in 32-1, all alone up front. Walker CCL, second time out for this youngster, races in second. King Sullivan is racing third into the backside. It's King of the South then in fourth as we check in with Gold Rush King, who is fifth. A few more lengths then going back to Benjamin Blue Chip, and the breakers are well behind. Cyclone Sealster approaches the midway point. First time out for this son of King of the North. James McDonald for Dave Maneri. It's Cyclone Sealster leading it. Walker CCL starts to inch a little bit closer. It's 3 lengths off the top spot as they were by the half. 102 and 4, 30-3 in the second quarter for Cyclone Sealster, who picked it up after the 32-1 opener. Cyclone Sealster leads it. Walker CCL plugs away in second. King Sullivan is still there racing in third as they get into the far turn. King of the South is fourth. 2 more lengths back to Gold Rush King. Gap of 6 lengths then going back to Benjamin Blue Chip. And the trailers continue to be Commander Kelly and Aaronwood Tritton. So it is still Cyclone Sealster, who has kept some nice separation up front, looking good in the debut. 131 and 4 3/4. Cyclone Sealster spins for home. Cyclone Sealster by 5. Back in second is Walker CCL. Then on the outside now making a rush, that is Benjamin Blue Chip, as that one's advanced up into third. Back to King Sullivan in fourth. Cyclone Sealster still remains untouched on the lead. Cyclone Sealster marching on, set to pick up a victory in the qualifying debut. Cyclone Sealster's going to win this one by about 5 lengths. Good final quarter from Benjamin Blue Chip, who will finish in second. Walker CCL was third, and King of the South was fourth. 202-1 for Cyclone Sealster.
Cyclone Sealster, first asking, put right on the front, and will take it all the way. No real anxious moments for this guy. Got a big strapping son of King of the North, again from that first full purple aura. She's a daughter of Creatine. And looks like Dave Maneri's got another young prospect on his hands here. There's James McDonald, and you talked about it a lot earlier today. James typically likes to try and race them from off the pace, keep them covered up and sprint home. A different approach here with this one, which is interesting in itself.
Yeah, I think watching that, it looked like early on he was maybe looking for a spot to drop into, but again, when the first quarter comes up 32 seconds, it's sort of hard to go much slower than that, so he decides to get on the front, and you know what? He also knows when to put them on the front, and he was clearly the best here today.
And what we should let people know is the wind has kicked up fairly substantially here from what it was this morning, so maybe not going to see those flashy final quarter times that we would have, if the weather was a little bit different. But nonetheless, I think Connection's going to be happy here. Benjamin Blue Chip rallies nicely for second. This guy, I think, just a $3,000 U.S. yearling purchase last year. Another son of King of the North was solid second. Walker CCL, who is up attending the pace, hung on for a third place effort. King of the South rounding out your top four. So the King of the North's quite prominent in this group in terms of overall numbers, and they take 3 of the top 4 positions here in this 8th qualifier. So we've got 8 down and 3 remaining here this morning from Woodbine Mohawk Park. Another short break now. Back with more Pacers when we come back.
From the rolling fields of Lucan, Ontario, right to the winner's circle, Sealster Farms has been making an impact across harness racing since 1969. Today, the Sealster roster is headlined by the world's fastest standardbred, the amazing Bulldog Hanover. 145-4, Horse of the Year in Canada and the US. Bulldog Hanover is already the sire of multiple Grand Circuit winners, including Grade 1 winning filly, She's a Bulldog. The Sealster lineup also includes All Bets Off, Big Jim, and Century Pharaoh. To learn more about the Sealster team, visit sealsterfarms.com.
Three races away from wrapping up this morning's qualifying races at Woodbine Mohawk Park. It is the Rookie Showcase on Primetime Racing, back with Pacers this time around. One of the just fun little tidbits surrounding this group, the number 7 Lauxie. Now we heard from John Rallis again, been giving us some little tidbits that he's picked up, which is fantastic. Shout out to John. Lauxie, named for Evan Laux, and you've heard his voice a lot here in the last year, filling in from time to time, and of course he's the voice of Kawartha Downs. So that note I think came from the breeder, one of the breeders, Cynthia Graham, and thank you to John for passing that along. So let's see if Lauxie can live up to the little bit of pressure there, named after a great guy like Evan. He's a terrific guy and a terrific race caller as well.
Absolutely. I've been fortunate enough to spend some time at Kawartha Downs recently. A great place to race. Always great personnel around there. We've all been fortunate enough. I remember as a kid having horses named after me as well. And it's always something special if they can go on and do well, and you can get your picture taken with them, especially in big races.
Yeah, you talk about Kawartha Downs. There's a place, boy, on a weekend night in the summer. That place is jam packed. We're fortunate enough. We've got so many wonderful venues here in Ontario, and we're getting just into the heat of the summer season. All the stakes races we're looking forward to, and seeing many of the horses we're watching here over these first couple of weekends competing in races there. We'll see some of them out there for grassroots events, I'm sure. You look over at Grand River Raceway, they'll have the Battle of Waterloo coming up in early August. No doubt some of these will be there competing on that day as well. So let's turn our attention here to this group of Pacers, including Lauxie. He'll have post number 7 here. One that did start last week. Now, he made a miscue in the early stages and finished 4th. So did recover quickly, got back into it. That's a good sign. We'll see if the son of Sunshine Beach keeps it all together here this morning. Closer to the inside, Sunhawk from post 1. This is a $100,000 Lexington purchase last fall. And out of Kiss Me on the Beach, some beach somewhere, Dam, who had a fast race record of 48-3, 321,000 earned. So this mating could produce something special here. Team McNair sends out this one. 2 doors down, Twin Jets, another one from the Ian Moore stable, another 6-figure purchase.
Yep, and we got the opportunity to speak to caretaker Riley Noble there before, who's excited to send this one out. Again, an exciting time of year. Anytime you're in one of those big barns, anything comes out of that barn is probably exciting to look for. Looking further, we got another young name in here on the 6, Austin McEnany, young trainer, getting the opportunity to send one out here for Francis Gamet. Control the moment, Colt.
Yeah, and it looks. I was looking up the pedigree on that, and if you look deep into the family there, there's some nice production on that side. Nothing wrong at all with Control of the Moment. He's thrown so many nice horses in his time here in Ontario as well. You've got another returnee in the field. In addition to the 7, you've also got We Want Easy, who was third, and a really good third last week. Came from 5th, was well back at the half, but let's note We Want Easy was in the fastest qualifier from last week, the fastest one we've seen in Canada this year for a rookie, in fact, 56-1, and finished third, closing third individually, his final quarter, 27-3. This one a son of Perfect Sting. And second time out. Now here's one that we could see turn in a nice mile today.
Yeah, I think that was our highlight of the Thursday card last week was free agent there. So certainly closing into to him is an impressive effort. Maybe he can be the highlight of the week this week.
We've got Pondle Bay Jim Bob toward the inside of the gate. This is a big Jim colt out of the Better Than Cheddar mare, Better Than Bobby. And that makes this one a sibling to Pondle Bay Bobby, filly that's really made a splash here in Ontario. Plays right at the top level and, has tremendous speed and has been a real good producer so far in her young career. Nice group here. We've got the prospects on the track, of course, here this morning. And Mark McKelvey's out checking out young hockey prospects as well this weekend. We send it back over to him for the call.
And we got everything covered this weekend, don't we, Greg, as we are set for the 9th qualifier. As the horses will move up and take their positions. So the 1 was to be Sunhawk, Bulldog Hanover colt for Team McNair. 2, Pownell Bay Jim Bob. Big Jim colt, Joe McIsaac trains, Daryl Thiessen drives. 3 is Twin Jets, a cattle wash colt. Dr. Ian Moore, the trainer, Mark McDonald in the bike. This one was purchased at Harrisburg for $100,000 US. 4, We Want Easy, a Perfect Sting colt. Blake McIntosh, the trainer. Tyler Borth will steer. Perfect Sting colt went through Harrisburg for $20,000 US. 5 is Yankee Scout, a Bulldog Hanover colt. Tony Beaton trains, James McDonald drives, and Yankee Scout was a Lexington Select buy for $50,000 US. 6 is The Good Moment, a Control the Moment colt. Trained by Austin McEnany. The driver is Louis Waugh. And 7 is Lauxie, a gelded son of Sunshine Beach. For Gary Hodgson, the driver is Jody Jamieson. Pacers lined up for the 9th qualifier. Scratch down to a field of 6. Starting gate swings into the stretch. Rookie Pacers picking up speed. Here they come for the 9th. And they're off and pacing, and We Want Easy and Tyler Borth are going to make it look easy as they are going to swing out to the early lead. Lauxie is crossing on over from the outside for Jamieson into 2nd, while Twin Jets is currently in 3rd. Driving ahead is The Good Moment for Waugh, then going back to Pownell Bay Jim Bob, who will be followed by Yankee Scout, who yields to the rear. It's going to be We Want Easy, who is the leader. 2nd is Lauxie. On the outside and dropping into the 3-hole will be The Good Moment, ahead of Twin Jets 4th, followed by Pownell Bay Jim Bob, and last in line is Yankee Scout. 30 seconds even, the opening quarter. That's our fastest opening quarter to this point, and We Want Easy looking good up front here. The Blake McIntosh trainee, 2nd time out, and they're switching up the tactics this time as it is We Want Easy doing the road work and is clear by 6. Lauxie's in 2nd. The Good Moment is 3rd. Racing in 4th is Twin Jets, followed by Pownell Bay Jim Bob, and that one is tracked by a close-up Yankee Scout who's on that one's back, but all We Want Easy up to the half. 30-second opener by the midway point. point in a time of 58-4. A 28-4 second quarter for We Want Easy, and this lead is now out to double digits. So We Want Easy is rolling right along. 5/8 of the mile now complete for that youngster. Back in second is Lautsy. The Good Moment is third. Twin Jets is fourth, followed by Pownell Bay Jim Bob, who might get the cue to go shortly. Then being tracked by Yankee Scout. Out from third is The Good Moment, looking to go around Lautsy, but up front it's We Want Easy by a dozen lengths in 1:26-4. A 28-second third panel. Let's see what We Want Easy has on the end of the mile. We Want Easy in another postal code right now. The Good Moment into second. Pownell Bay Jim Bob's now marched up into third. Lautsy drops back a few spots as Twin Jets goes by in Yankee Scout, but up front We Want Easy. Right from the word go, this one was over. We Want Easy, the son of Perfect Sting. Going to get a qualifying score here for Tyler Borth. We Want Easy will take it. Finishing in second was Pownell Bay Jim Bob. Outside third, The Good Moment. And then finishing in fourth was Yankee Scout. 1:56-3 for We Want Easy.
The fastest of the morning so far, and we're certainly not surprised. We Want Easy. You know, there was a colt last year, Jeff, that finished a good rallying third, first time out, and then the next week came back and kind of won in dominant fashion.
Yeah, who was that, Greg?
His name was Bojangles.
Interesting.
And before the comment section blows up, I'm not comparing him to Bojangles just yet, but definitely a real nice, solid, impressive effort here this morning. And there he is, nice body language at the end. Tyler just keeping his mind on business, and then finishes with a bit of pace at the end of it. And 29-4 again with the way the wind is kicked up here today. That's better than you would think when you first look at that chart line. But you could kind of tell the game plan was going to be a lot different this week. Straight to the front and just widened his advantage all the way. We Want Easy. This one bred by Princeton Farms, and they'll be excited with this prospect. And there's Blake McIntosh again with a good one. Perfect Sting making an impression too in that New Jersey program, one of the top stallions there.
Yeah, I got to assume that We Want Easy here is probably getting ready to go south of the border here soon. Again, I think I mentioned this last week, but I think Blake did the same thing with Quickaway last year. It was super impressive in the rookie showcase here, and went on to win a couple races to begin his career south of the border. Can probably see something of the same here for We Want Easy.
First-timer Pownell Bay Jim Bob, good closing second. And the Good Moment, that Control the Moment colt, will be third in this quickest mile of the day so far. 1:56-3. We Want Easy did it easy. We've got two more to go. Back with more in a moment.
From Hanover's Bertha to Bulldog Hanover. From Shepherd to Simpson to Williams. Hanover Shoe Farms, celebrating 100 years as the greatest name in harness racing.
Join us this August on Prince Edward Island for the Gold Cup and Saucer, presented by Atlantic Lottery. Visit redshores.ca for more details.
Back on the trot as we come up to our final two races this morning. Welcoming you back to Woodbine Mohawk Park. Hope you are enjoying the coverage of the Rookie Showcase here on Primetime TV. And those viewing in today on Game Plus and our social media platforms. Hello to all of you. And trotters here in the second to last event of the day. A really intriguing one here is one from the Scott McEnany barn. Let's Play Acre D by Acre D, a 2-year-old colt that Scott purchased, I think, out of the mix sale last year, if I'm not mistaken. Now, John Ralla sent a neat note on this one in talking to Scott earlier about this guy, and he said, He's been ultra impressed with him in the training down process, and he said now he's got double what he paid for him as a purchase price in stakes payments. So obviously high on this one coming in, and we'll see what we can expect from him after today. He's got post 2 in the field here this morning. And we've got one that was other end of the spectrum, $155,000 Lexington purchase, the Guru. And this one is a half to Captain Corey, the Hambletonian winner. So there's why.
Yeah, good breeding, and Ben's going to stay on with Glengate Farms and Santo and Nunzio Vena to own this guy. And, always a key sign when you see those names stay on. There's something impressive about this horse. I'm also looking at the 3, Wolfpack Doc for Tyler Moore. Would I be wrong in assuming that that's a sibling to Wolfpack Crown, who Tyler Moore obviously conditions and sends out, and I believe will be maybe in the free-for-all this weekend?
Yeah, and Mr. Predictable's another graduate of the London Classic sale, as is Wolfpack Doc. Mr. Predictable, a muscle mass mare out of Victoria, has a secret, a preferred type mare that raced a lot at our neck of the woods in London, and so a kind of a mid-level priced horse from our sale, Blake McIntosh and Glenn Dyke, who've had good success in the last few years, teaming up with Ontario prospects, and we'll see how this one performs here this morning. The Guru, getting back to that one, is also a son of Ecurdy D, and again a sibling to Captain Corey, so expectations will be high for this one coming in. Good morning so far, and we've seen some impressive efforts. Jeff, you've so far, you're bang on with your time prediction, 56-3. You said would be the fastest time on the pace today. We'll see if that holds up. One more pacing race to go, and on the trotting side, we'll have to check that. You had 58-3. You were a little bit ambitious there. I think I was too, 59-4. But we've got an opportunity here. Let's see if someone can step up and dazzle us here in qualifier number 10. Again, while we have a moment, we should remind folks of the big program coming up tomorrow night. If you're a fan of horse racing, it is can't miss TV here tomorrow evening. Pepsi North America Cup and an incredible undercard, races like the Roses Are Red and the Fan Hanover, to name a few. Free-for-all pacers and trotters, something for everybody. Great wagering menu, and a lot of fun activities planned on track.
Yeah, biggest night in harness racing in Canada of the year. And again, you mentioned it yesterday, but just an exciting time of year across all sports, really. You got a ton going on. It seems like every night you've got something big to watch. We had another big hockey game last night, the basketball series, the baseball's going, and of course, our biggest night of the year tomorrow, and a marquee matchup that we could remember for years.
We are looking forward to it. That's tomorrow night, right here, Pepsi North America Cup Night 2026. Our final look at trotters this morning. Back over to Mark McKelvey with the call.
Huge weekend, guys, right across the board, but certainly pumped up for tomorrow night's All-Star card here at Mohawk Park. Who knows, some of these youngsters could be racing on that program a year from now. We're on the trot for the 10th. One is 360, a muscle mass colt. Kyle Fellows trains Doug McNair to drive. Lexington Select grad for $50,000 US. 2 is Let's Play Ecurdy D colt for Scott McEnany, Trevor Henry in the bike. $3,000 out of the Harrisburg sale. Number 3, Wolfpack Doc, muscle mass colt. Tyler Moore trains and drives, $25,000 London Classic purchase. 4 is Arm & Hammer, gelded son of muscle mass for Paul Reed, Bob McClure in the bike. Lexington Select buy for $22,000 US. 5, Mr. Predictable, Tyler Borth at the reins for Blake McIntosh. Muscle mass colt was a $35,000 London Classic buy. 6 is the Guru, Ecurdy colt for Ben Bayarjan, driver James McDonald. The Guru brought $155,000 US at the Lexington Selected Yearling Sale. And on the outside, number 7 is King for a Day, King of the North colt for Keelan Green, Eddie Green in the bike. King for a Day, Lexington Select grad, $32,000 US. A field of 7 moves up has their positions as the gate swings into the stretch. Our 10th qualifier, here they come. And they're off and trotting. Pretty even beginning here for a few of them. Looks like it's going to be Arm & Hammer that is going to forge ahead from the center for McClure, but 360 is also a little headstrong at the rail. Here comes King for a Day up on the outside, looking to sweep across. Getting away in fourth was Wolfpack Doc, followed by Let's Play A Curie. Then going to the Guru, and off the gate a bit at the start was Mr. Predictable. That one will be the trailer as we get into the first turn. So it's King for a Day from the outside to the lead. 360 in second, Arm & Hammer third, and Wolfpack Doc is spotted in fourth. The opening quarter is up in a time of 31-4. King for a Day, son of King of the North, by 2 into the backside. 360, a son of Muscle Mass, is second. Next, you'll find another Muscle Mass 2-year-old and Arm & Hammer third. Then trotting along fourth to complete the Muscle Mass sons is Wolfpack Doc. Checking in fifth, Mr. Predictable. A couple lengths then going back to the Guru. A few more lengths back to the trailer as they come up to the half. 360 makes the move to the lead, so we get that lead change ahead of the midway point. It's 360 and McNair leading it by 2 on King for a Day in second. 102-1 was the half-mile time. Arm & Hammer is trotting along in third. Then fourth, you continue to find Wolfpack Doc. 2 more lengths to Let's Play A Curie, who is followed by the Guru, and the trailer is Mr. Predictable. 5/8 of the mile complete. 360 took over the top spot and drives us around the far turn, leading it by close to 3. 360. First time out here for the son of Muscle Mass leads it. King for a Day in second. Third is Mr. Predictable. Inside fourth is Wolfpack Doc. Underway on the outside, trying to advance there for Henry is Let's Play A Curie. Then you'll find the Guru, who stays in line, and the trailer, Mr. Predictable. 132 is the three-quarter clocking. It's 360 with a clear lead. 1/8 of a mile remaining. King for a Day is in second. Looking to come up the rail is Arm & Hammer. On the outside, Let's Play A Curie is finishing up well. Wolfpack Doc is back in fifth. Coming to the edge of the toe port, 360, almost home. 360 will finish first. Finishing second, Let's Play A Curie. Then third was was Arm & Hammer. The mile time, 2:01-2 for 360.
The Muscle Mass Colt 360 with a really workmanlike effort this morning, 2:01-2. Aggressively handled in the middle half and holds all the rivals at bay quite easily here. This guy getting it done for Kyle Fellows, another winner from that operation. Doug McNair in the driver's seat for the victory. $50,000 Lexington purchase from last fall. And the Mare Feel Invincible already has produced a talented youngster that we know well here in Ontario. His name is Hot Country, and 360 gets his young career off to a very good start. Let's Play AQD, the aforementioned horse we spoke about early on. Scott McEnany, got to be happy with him.
Yep, Trevor Henry on board again. I don't know how Trevor Henry's going to make his decisions come race time here. He's got a bunch that looks like he's going to be going for. But again, we keep going to it, you know. Trevor and Scott, they said they had a good mix of horses, and they weren't wrong, that's for sure.
That's a great problem to have. That's, I think a lot of drivers would wish they would have that problem. And we talked about that yesterday here. What a kind of a nice setup now Trevor Scott. He's at that point where he can, he can be down in Florida in the winter, get to know these horses, sit behind a lot of them. Probably has a lot of input, feedback before they even hit the racetrack here, and then behind many of them, and he's got to be excited about what lies ahead for this summer. The Kyle Fellows stable, nice group as well. So that's kind of the theme we've noticed the last few days. A lot of our top local stables have nice brigades of youngsters that they've unveiled, and strength in numbers perhaps for a lot of them. And it just bodes well. Going to be another fun season, of course, on the Ontario program and beyond. And it'll be fun to see which ones can step up and perhaps race on the Grand Circuit as well. We're down to our last qualifying event. We'll have it next, Pacers, when we return.
Well, the moment is here, and the time is now as we get set for one of the biggest races on Canadian soil. It's the Pepsi North America Cup, $1 million on the line.
And a perfect start. And away they go. More to go here as we welcome you back to Woodbine Mohawk Park on this beautiful Friday morning. Greg Blanchard and Jeff Hunt, trackside, getting set to introduce you to a field of pacers to wrap up our coverage here this morning. There's a look at Talbot Prankster, cattle wash gelded son of Luck of Michelle. Luck of Michelle, what a great mare she was. Earned close to $1 million in her career. She's been a good producer too. This one's a sibling to the $450,000 winner, Talbot Creek Whiskey. Now this is one that's already had a qualifying win. I didn't get to see the actual race, but the line looks awfully good at Sarnia.
Very good, and you got to assume Sarnia maybe it's a smaller track, maybe a little bit slower. We could be looking at another good mile here, Greg. If I'm not wrong, you need him to drop a couple seconds and a couple fractions off of We Want Easy for you to make your guesstimate here. I'm also looking at 2 Greg McNair entries here, and Dougie gets the drive on both. I'll be interested to see which one he decides to take, and as they come out behind us, it looks like he'll take the 4, Yes I Am Hanover. So if we want to read into that, I assume Dougie's been able to sit behind them a little bit.
There's Jody Jameson picking up a drive here on I Believe in Miracles. A big Jim Gelding from the sports writer mare Deb, making this one a half-brother to Dax Sealster. Dax Sealster, a real nice prospect coming into the 3-year-old season. Another one that was purchased by Power Racing Stable Incorporated at the London Classic sale last fall for $50,000. Yes, I Am Hanover's the 4, $110,000 Harrisburg purchase. Another one for Team McNair here. Bulldog Hanover out of the $1.6 million winner, You Are My Candy Girl. And Brad Grant owns this one, bred by Hanover Shoe Farms Incorporated. And we heard earlier, of course, again from Mark Lowy, Vice President of Customer Relations for Hanover Shoe Farms. So, again, thank you to him for taking part in our coverage here this morning. Call sign Maverick, another one to touch on here. Bulldog Hanover Gelding, another one from the Princeton Farms outfit, and from a Better's Delight mare turning the table. Nice pedigree here on this guy. He sold south of the border last fall and will get post 7 on debut here today.
Yep, and there we get a look at Trevor Henry's going to pick up the drive on Greg's second one here, 3, the Swooper. We'll see if Trevor can add another bullet to his chamber here.
Yeah, I love the name, the Swooper, and let's see if he lives up to it here. It'll be interesting to see what type of tactics are employed here by Trevor. And Trevor's another guy, a veteran horseman, not just a driver, a veteran horseman. He's an all-around horseman, and he really knows the right way to teach these horses something in the morning sessions to make sure that when they do hit the racetrack for pari-mutuel action, they know what they're doing and they're coming in the right frame of mind.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it after the last qualifier, but he's had this opportunity to get down to Florida and sit behind some of these horses in the winter and train down, and as you mentioned, probably get a little bit of a say into maybe some changes made and whatnot. And again, a guy like Trevor Henry, a real horseman who's been around a long time, you can take his suggestions pretty humbly, with a grain of salt, and trust that they're probably going to make the horse better. He's been around enough. He knows probably what they need. And again, another guy who knows how to drive them well. Teach them something here in these qualifiers. You don't often see him blasting out and sort of having them tire towards the end either.
Yeah, that one another London sale graduate, $70,000 purchase last fall. one more time, we're going to head over to Mark McKelvey with the call of our 11th and final.
Thank you so much, guys. It's been a great morning so far, and we wrap it up now on the pace. One deconstructed, a Bulldog Hanover Colt for Blake McIntosh. Driver is Tyler Borth. This one, a Lexington Select purchase for $22,000 US. 2 is Talbot Prankster, Cattle Wash 2-year-old. Fred Driard is the trainer. The driver is Mark McDonald. Talbot Prankster, a London Classic by $18,000. 3 is the Swooper, a Cattle Wash Colt. Make the driver Trevor Henry for trainer Greg McNair. $70,000 London Classic purchase. 4, Yes I Am Hanover, is a Bulldog Hanover Colt trained by Greg McNair. Doug McNair will do the driving. This was a Harrisburg buy for $110,000 US. 5, I Believe in Miracles, is trained by Len Lalonde. This is a gelded son of Big Jim. Make the driver Jody Jamieson. I Believe in Miracles, a $50,000 London Classic purchase. 6 is Twin B Duncan, gelded son of Captain Crunch for Francis Dumichel, driver Tyler Jones. And number 7, Call Sign Maverick, a gelded son of Bulldog Hanover. Dave Maneri trains. James McDonald will do the driving, and this was a Harrisburg yearling purchase for $65,000 US. Time to wrap things up on this Friday morning, just ahead of the noon hour, as our 11th and final qualifier is about to get underway. Been a good couple of days of the rookie showcase, and now the veterans will be on display coming up this weekend, including tomorrow night for the Pepsi North America Cup. Here we go, the final from Mohawk. And they're off and pacing. Yes, I Am Hanover and I Believe in Miracles come away side by side down the center. To the inside is Talbot Prankster, who will get in front of the rail starter Deconstructed. Just floating away is Call Sign Maverick into mid-pack. And behind that one is Twin B Duncan. And the Swooper is down to the inside the trailer. Out to the lead goes Yes, I Am Hanover. It's Yes, I Am Hanover, the leader. I Believe in Miracles races into second. Talbot Prankster, first time here at Mohawk, is then in third. Going back to Call Sign Maverick in fourth. 31 seconds was the opening panel. Yes, I Am Hanover by a length and a half straightens us into the backstretch. I Believe in Miracles second. Gap of 3 back to Talbot Prankster, already a qualifying winner at Hiawatha a week ago. Call Sign Maverick is then racing in fourth. Going back to Deconstructed in fifth. 3 more lengths to the Swooper, who is being tailed by Twin B Duncan. No change in order as we near the midway point. Yes, I Am Hanover, the son of Bulldog Hanover by a length and a half. I Believe in Miracles right up close, right on the leader's helmet as they go by the midway point. Half mile time, 1:01 and 3, 30 and 3 second quarter. Yes, I Am Hanover onto the far bend. I Believe in Miracles getting a nice tracking trip there in second. Talbot Prankster still a few lengths off then in third. Call Sign Maverick is following that one in fourth. Back to Deconstructed. Underway is the Swooper to the outside for Henry. And the last one is Twin B Duncan. Coming to 3 quarters, Yes, I Am Hanover. I Believe in Miracles is poised for a good final quarter. But Yes, I Am Hanover takes it up a notch here and gets a little separation. 1:31 your 3/4 time, and they swing for home. Yes, I Am Hanover starting to edge away on I Believe in Miracles, and that one now fed to the outside as Call Sign Maverick was already underway, and that one is storming on the outside. Call Sign Maverick coming on up. I Believe in Miracles. Yes, I Am Hanover, the leader, hanging right in there. 3 across. Yes, I Am Hanover not wanting to give up the lead. I Believe in Miracles edging by. I Believe in Miracles will get it. Call Sign Maverick on the outside appeared to get second from Yes, I Am Hanover third. 2 minutes flat. It was I Believe in Miracles.
Another one that had to do some stick handling in the home stretch coming up in between rivals as they were sprinting on that end of that mile. 29 seconds again at this point in the day. Right now with the win, that's a really nice last quarter. So all three putting on a good show here in the late stages. But I liked what I saw from this big strapping son of Big Jim. When the fight was on, he responded, and certainly take nothing away from Call Sign Maverick. Nice rally, and had to go just a little bit wide in the late stages. And Yes, I Am Hanover all fight on the inside as well.
Yeah, great way to end the day there. A 3 across finish, 3 horses battling through there. And again, as you mentioned, Jody wanted some room with I Believe in Miracles, and he's able to go on by Yes, I Am Hanover, who again, Dougie makes the choice. Looked like he chose a good one there. Call Sign Maverick maybe a little bumpy in the stretch there. He's got some room to improve. Again, a great finish for those 3. And again, we were wondering what the swooper would do. He did get away at the back a little bit, but he showed some desire to pass some horses. Didn't quite catch the 3 on the front, but he had a great effort from a lot of horses in there. A lot of ready to go colts.
Yep. I believe in miracles. A Sealster Farms Incorporated bred prospect here to get a $50,000 purchase, and the brother to Dax Sealster. Nice for Power Racing stable. Just newly getting into the ownership ranks on the standardbred side. Dove in a big way last fall at the London sale, and they've got a qualifying winner here, and a nice-looking youngster on his way to pari-mutuel action soon. We'll take one more break. Be back to wrap things up here this morning from Woodbine, Mohawk Park.
This premier yearling auction, the London Classic Yearling Sale, returns this October. Hundreds of yearlings from Canada's top breeders and major buyers, all under one roof at the JR Expo Centre. And American buyers, remember, your dollar goes further here. From the world-renowned Ontario Sire Stakes program to the Grand Circuit, London Classic graduates compete at the sport's highest level. You can't afford to miss the London Classic Yearling Sale, October 13th and 14th. For more information, visit londonclassic.ca.
Welcome back one more time, trackside. At the conclusion of today's second qualifying day of races for the babies, the rookie showcase, and it was the boys putting on a good show here this morning. Very impressive youngsters, Greg Blanchard, Jeff Hunt. We're going to bring in Mark McKelvey one more time. Now, Mark not on track with us. You've heard us talking this morning that he's calling remotely, Mark. So for those wondering, we're going to ask you kind of where you are, what you're up to, and how you're going to make it back here for the Pepsi NA Cup tomorrow night.
Driving the speed limit, Greg. I will make it back in plenty of time for tomorrow night. But yeah, in Kingston for the OHL draft, as you mentioned. So that's going to be a fun event tonight, and happy to be a part of that. And just nice that we were able to make this all work, guys. I think it sounded all right. The guys behind the scenes did a nice job, and just like you guys, I don't want to miss any of this action, especially this time of the year as we're trying to find those future stars, and it's fun to watch. And I thought today we had some good-looking efforts, and it's one of those things you kind of have the recency bias of the horses in the back half that are kind of sticking out in your mind. But I go back to early on in the day. I thought the betting line colt early on, Go Gadget, was pretty impressive in the first. The trotter that finished up real well for Tyler Moore, Detonator Hanover, that one closing in was one I'll keep an eye on next week. So some good efforts, as mentioned. Nothing eye-catching in terms of the time, but as we all know, you don't get paid based on the time.
That's right. Well, listen, Mark, have a great time there, and safe travels back. We'll see you here tomorrow night. And, yeah, Jeff, Mark talked about the highlights for him, and I would agree. A Go Gadget. There's just something about the way he did it that was ultra impressive. That Perfect Sting colt coming back this week and lowering his time, that was a bit of a statement win. And I even liked the horse we saw in the finale there, just kind of the way he did it. And that was really simulating race conditions that they're going to face here in the next 2-3 weeks. They got to get right at it, and this guy will likely be stakes play somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't say much more, though. Those would be the highlights for me. I think certainly Go Gadget took me by surprise the most. We had Shalom Hanover, Ian Moore with another good mile in the fourth for his. And again, we come out here and we try to predict what the times will be and how well, and we talk about how well these horses are behaving. But, they've been here, they've been training a lot, they've been with other horses. I guess at this point it is really nice to see, as you mentioned in the last one, horses who will battle to the wire right till the race is over and go by horses. So, again, very impressive all the way around the card.
Well, thank you, Jeff, for joining us once again. And want to remind you, we're going to be back on air tomorrow night with coverage of the Pepsi North America Cup. We can't wait for that. It's going to be the best on best here tomorrow night in each and every category. Post time tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m., and a great 13-race program. Our show will get underway tomorrow night at 10 o'clock on Game Plus and our social media platforms, CBC Gem as well. And we are looking forward. We'll be covering 3 races tomorrow night as part of our coverage, and of course ending with that $1 million Pepsi North America Cup. We'll be back one more time next Friday. We're going to be covering that one final day of baby race coverage as well. And just a note on tomorrow night's Pepsi NA Cup show, we'll have that show happening at 10 o'clock. Prior to that, we'll be on air for 1.5 hours with streaming at 8:30, so some bonus coverage that'll be streamed online before that. Then we go into the main show at 10 o'clock. And again, a reminder, back next Friday, 1 week from today, with our final race coverage of the babies in the Rookie Showcase this year. Thank you so much for joining us again. Big thank you to all of our sponsors. Enjoy the weekend and hope to see everybody tomorrow night tuning in or on track for the Pepsi North America Cup from right here at Woodbine, Mohawk Park.